DRG Media Group and River 92.7 are bringing you all home Oahe Zap games all season long. Tune in on the radio, listen on the app, or watch live on drgnews.com. Now, let's send it to the broadcast booth for some Oahe Zap baseball.
It is a gorgeous day for Game 2 of the ILB Championship Series at Hyde Stadium. The sun is out, the cool air is breezing through, and for the final time in 2025, we welcome you into the broadcast booth here at Hyde Stadium. I'm Justin Cowart, alongside Dylan Beach and Eli Lewis. Well, we're 10 minutes or so away from first pitch. The Sasquatch won Game 1 14-7. They took control late in the final 3 innings, scoring 10 runs unanswered by the Oahe Zap. And now the Zap look to turn things around before they head back to Spearfish for the final 3 games if necessary. As we are getting set here, good crowd filing their way in, finding their first come, first served seats. I think even before first pitch, we're still, like I said, about 10 minutes out. Got a bigger crowd than we did last night. There was rain in the area yesterday afternoon, about 2 hours before first pitch for Game 1. We were curious if we were even going to get this game in, but the sun cracked through about an hour after that storm finished up, and the field was ready, and it was a beautiful night for baseball. Well, it wasn't so beautiful for the Oahe Zap. It started off nice, the Zap scoring 6 runs in the first 3 innings, but the Spearfish Sasquatch offense does what they've done all season long. They hit a couple home runs. They put some runners on base. They got some help from the Zap defense, and they would, like I said, go on to win 14-7, but the Zap looked for a new day and a new outcome here in game number 2. Dylan, that was a lot of fun last night until it wasn't. Spearfish and that offense really came to play. And it felt like last night the Oahe Zap were just happy to be in the playoffs. They had never made it to this point in the season before. First ever playoff game at Hyde Stadium. Maybe felt like some nervous energy within that ball club, going down onto the field and talking to the guys in the dugout and out in the field warming up before the game today. That energy seems a little bit different. Probably a lot of anger, a little bit of embarrassment from last night's game into today. And it feels like this team's going to come with a little bit of a different energy to take on the Sasquatch in Game 2 here tonight.
Yeah, and a lot of times when you see a team making their playoff debut, it's the early nerves. You kind of give up those big innings early, but that was kind of the opposite of what we had yesterday. The Zap controlled this game for almost 2/3 of it before falling apart in the 7, 8, and 9, and that's got to be frustrating because you had them for a while, maybe went a little too long with certain pitchers. Offense also going quiet for too long is pretty inexcusable. So you got to really bounce back tonight because you have got to win this one because you do not want to have to go win 3 games out in Spearfish.
We've talked about it ad nauseum. The team from June from the Oahe Zap versus the team from July was 2 completely different ball clubs. The team in June would come out, they'd get up early, they would put some runs on the board, and then they'd feel a little bit comfortable and just try to white-knuckle it to the very end, and that doesn't often work in this league. There's a lot of offense, a lot of great offensive hitters on a lot of these different teams, including this Spearfish Sasquatch team. The Zap learned that kind of in true form last night in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. But the team in July for the Oahe Zap was much different. They would get in front, they would get ahead, and then they would continue to pile runs on. But the team we saw last night was the team we saw early on in the regular season. They got out in front early, they delivered the first punch, but when the Sasquatch punched back, the Zap didn't have an answer for it. And there was a lot of opportunities for the Zap to score some runs last night. They only took advantage of a few, but it was the mistakes of the defense that really came home to pay the bills for the Oahe Zap. It was the 2 bunts that the Sasquatch laid down that got them on base, the second one being thrown into right field, scoring a couple runs. There was just a couple maybe pitching mistakes, leaving some pitches in locations that you don't normally want to in counts that favor the hitter and counts that favor the pitcher. There were some defensive errors out on the field, some throwing errors, just some mental mistakes that we didn't really see out of this team earlier on or later on in the season that we did see earlier on in the season. So in this postseason series, you can't make mistakes like that because a good team like Spearfish is going to make you pay like they did last night, and it's an equally as dangerous lineup here today for the Spearfish Sasquatch. So let's introduce you to both starting lineups. It's an interesting pitching matchup here tonight. Luke Torelli, who was a fielder for the Sasquatch last night, will be getting the start and DHing. He will be leading off. Nick Work will be playing third base, batting second. Kyle Finn, who did a lot of damage to the Zap last night, will be hitting third and playing first. And another guy who did a lot of damage was Carson Rather. He will be back behind the dish hitting cleanup. Sam Kwapnoski will be in center field, batting sixth. Batting seventh, number 7, Karsten Hansen will be playing out in right field. Ben Foyer, the sure-gloved Ben Foyer, will be playing shortstop and batting 8th. Clay Porter will be at second base and batting 9th. The Sasquatch are in their darker baby blue jerseys today with the gray bottoms, blue stripe down the side of the pants, and the gray tops with the Sasquatch logo right there in the middle of the hat. We'll introduce you here to the Zap starting lineup after our national anthem here in a moment. It's a gorgeous day again for baseball as the breeze is picking up ever so slightly, and we send it one press box over to our favorite national anthem singer of the season, our PA announcer, Mr. Jeff Adele, as he addresses the crowd and sings the national anthem here for Game 2 of this playoff series.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, who crossed lights and bright stars through the perilous fight, for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Always beautiful, a rendition of the national anthem from Jeff Adele. As the crowd is getting excited for first pitch, moments away, let's introduce you to the starting nine for the Oahe Zap. I'm going to let my partner Dylan take the starting nine for the home team here today.
Yeah, leading off, Gavin Frazier playing second base here today. Aiden Johnson in the 2 spot playing third. Ty Farwell behind the plate, catching and batting third. Palizzi hitting in the cleanup spot, playing first today. And a shocker, Quinn Ludvigson, for I believe the first time this season, playing left field and heading fifth. Noah Cadena will be in the 6th spot, DHing today. And then the 7, 8, 9, Jared Pugrad out short, Andrew Phillips out in center, and Emiliano Curiel out in right.
We mentioned it was an interesting pitching matchup today. It's a guy in Brady Glenn for the Zap who has come at some of the biggest moments out of the bullpen and delivered for the Oahe Zap. He's a guy that is all too familiar with Pierre, even hinted at possibly coming back for a 5th season with the Zap. He has sure got a lot of experience out on that mound at Hyde Stadium. And on the opposite side, maybe a guy who doesn't have a lot of experience on the mound, but can do it all, Luke Torelli, who's leading off, DHing, and will be the starting pitcher here this evening. And some pretty interesting stats from the mound for Luke Torelli that Dylan and I were talking about a little bit earlier in the pregame.
Yeah, he's only made one start, has kind of been a bullpen guy for them at times this year because he's got such an outstanding bat and can play the field. You don't really want to put him out on the mound, but he's in an interesting spot here, starting a game and hitting in it and leading off for them here tonight.
We've seen a little bit of that later on in the season, so we'll get a look at Luke Torelli in the bottom of the first inning. But Brady Glenn is out there pumping pitches on the mound right now. The Zap in their baby blues with the white lettering and the Zap logo on the left breastplate, numerals on the right breastplate in white. The bottoms are white with the blue stripe down the side as well. Navy blue caps for the Zap today. 3 umpire crews, same 3 as last night. They all just rotated one direction. It will be Mr. Corey Baker behind the dish. Jason Seitz over at the hot corner umpiring that third base area, and the always infamous Richard Gilmore at first base, shaking hands with first base coach Corey Baker, getting himself set. Crowd has settled in. They've gone to the beer stand. They've gotten their concession stand items. A lot of big names and faces in attendance here today as Brady Glenn is set. And now for the ball game. As Luke Torelli digs into the left-handed batter's box, Brady Glenn's got the sign. His first pitch is down low for ball 1, and we are underway in Game 2 of the ILB Championship Series here at Hyde Stadium.
And Glenn feels like a guy who is due to make a playoff start. This guy's lived in a pressure cooker all year long. Feels like the pressure has just only made him pitch better.
He misses up and in for ball 2, pushing Torelli off the plate just a bit. Yeah, there's been nobody else out of that Zap bullpen that has come in more high leverage situations than Brady Glenn. He has been put in some spots that no pitcher envies. And his pitch fantastic, and Luke Torelli starts this with a line shot into right. That's going to pop over the head of Emiliano Curiel. Torelli testing the arm of Curiel, will leg for second, and he's in with a standing double. So not the start the Zap wanted, exactly the start the Spearfish were looking for. And they've got a runner on second with nobody out here in the top of the first inning.
Yeah, and that is not the start you want out of Brady Glenn. I mean, going to have to work with a jam here. We've talked about the pressure, him putting some on himself with that leadoff double.
Yeah, but I think for the Zap, if you're going to allow the leadoff runner to get on, you want to make him earn it, not walking or hitting the hitter like we saw some of last night as Brady Glenn fires a first pitch strike to Nick Work. Good fastball there on the bottom half of the zone. That breeze is blowing from the left field area out over the right field wall, so it's definitely assisting left-handed hitters. Bunt shown from Work. He fouls it off towards the left-handed batter's box and back to the backstop. You know, I've said it before on these broadcasts, these 0-1 count bunts don't really make much sense to me. A team like the Sasquatch, you can do so much damage at the plate. Obviously want to see these guys swinging away. Of course, their bunting has been fantastic. We saw that yesterday as the 0-2 is swung on and missed for strike three. Brady Glenn pulled the string and gets his first strikeout of the game. That'll send Nick Work back to the dugout. And maybe the most dangerous hitter in the ILB in Kyle Finn will climb in. I'd venture to say maybe one of the most dangerous hitters in South Dakota in Kyle Finn. Effortless power, which we saw on display in Game 1 where he left the yard. A absolute no-doubter to left field, and he gets a first pitch strike call. An off-speed change-up there from Glenn finds its way in for strike one.
Yeah, there's a reason he's committed to go to Georgia Gwinnett next year. I mean, this guy is one of the top talents we've seen in the league this season.
Just kind of a ho-hum guy. His swing is so smooth, but it generates so much power in that 6-7 frame as that one's fouled back into the fencing, and for the second straight at bat, Brady Glenn is ahead 0-2. It was Esteban Baca and Jordan Bowman, the starting matchup yesterday. Both guys pitched well. Esteban got himself in some early trouble, but always found a way to slither out of it. As Finn pops the 0-2 towards the right side, Vince Palizzi gives a short foot chase, but watches that one sail out of play.
I'd say even the runs that Bowman gave up yesterday, it could have been a lot worse for him. He made his way through some jams as well. It was some great pitching and relief yesterday for the Sasquatch that really won him that game.
Yeah, Hudson Hart came in, and the Zap did a little bit of damage to Hudson Hart, something that no team has done all year long. As the 0-2 just misses a bit high. It's hard to miss high to this guy, Kyle Finn. As the count runs 1-2, one out, runner on second here in the top of the first inning. Glenn with a peek back. And that one will bounce into the chest of Ty Farwell for ball two. And I know I mentioned this in the pregame show, but there was a completely different energy with the Zap dugout from last night to this night when I went down to check the lineups and, of course, give the good luck roll tide to Caden Bazanski and Devin Skelton. 2-2 on the way to Finn. That one is just off the plate for ball three, says Corey Baker. Glenn wanted that call, but it just misses by about the width of a baseball on the outside corner.
And you can't miss over the plate here if you're Glenn. Got to make him try to chase.
Yeah, and with a base open, you could set up a force out at every base. Of course, you've got Carson Rather lurking in the on-deck circle. 3-2 is just a bit low for ball four. And from 0-2 to a walk to Kyle Finn, that'll put runners on first and second, and another dangerous hitter in Rather coming to the plate. Rather left the yard yesterday as part of a back-to-back home run hitting fest for the Sasquatch. It was a two-run shot by Kyle Finn and then a solo shot by Rather. That would give the Sasquatch an early lead. The Zap would answer back with two more in the following inning. But that would be it until the eighth inning for the Zap when they scored one on Hudson Hart. Here's the first pitch to Rather, and he skies it a mile high down the third base line. Aiden Johnson tracking around, fighting the wind, but finding his way into the glove for the second out of the inning. And that's a good way to deal with Carson Rather, a first pitch pop out. So tonight's beer batter will be Sam Kwapnoski. He's today's 5-hitter. Kwapnoski, a guy that can do some damage, did damage to the Zap in the regular season. Seems like everybody did damage to the Zap last night in that Sasquatch lineup, and he grounds the first one sharply over to Polizzi. He fields it along the line, takes it himself, and steps on the bag for out number 3. So Brady Glenn gets in a bit of a jam with a leadoff double from Luke Torelli, but he holds everybody right there, and he gets out of it unscathed. Scoreless, we head to the bottom of the first inning, but we will keep it right here for our first inning Fiber Fact. As always, first inning Fiber Facts are brought to you by our great friends at Venture Communications. And they want you to know, do you love your current TV lineup with Venture Communications but want to stream? Well, you won't miss a beat with UView Plus. Get all your live TV, all your favorite shows, and all the local sports you love now streaming your way with 100% fiber. It's the same great content experience. UView Plus today, only available with Venture Communications. Call their business office at 605-852-2224 to get your fiber today. It'll be Gavin Frazier, Aiden Johnson, and Ty Farwell, the 1-2-3, facing off with Luke Torelli today, the left-hander, as he's getting set out there on the bump. And I think for the first time that I've ever seen it, Corey Baker getting Bryce Van de Wastide, who usually brings him a new set of baseballs out of the dugout, to bring him a wet rag to clean up the home plate dish. Never seen that before, but there's more than one way to skin a cat, I guess.
And it still looks pretty dirty from up here, too. Might be a little bit caked on there today.
Very well could be. Zap
rollerblades over there.
Never know what you might see at Hyde Stadium. You know,
everything for the playoffs.
Zap's offense got rolling early yesterday, but much like we saw not only in the month of June but in years past, the Zap getting some offense going in the early innings, and then one, unable to capitalize on more scoring opportunities late in the game, but also kind of letting the game get away from them when their bullpen comes in relief. And we saw a lot of different things yesterday, mainly on the defensive side. The big blemish was that bunt that was thrown into right field, which allowed the bunter to get to third and that runner on first to get to home and score. But it was kind of a comedy of errors yesterday for the Zap. It felt like the wheels started to shake a little bit and then completely fell off.
And they were almost all self-inflicted blows there for a while, and you just can't have that in the playoffs. You got to come back with your better stuff here to close out this game. You controlled it for a long portion. You know you can compete with these guys, but you just didn't have it in the 7, 8, 9.
As Luke Torelli's first pitch to Gavin Frazier is a fastball and just missing a little bit low to make the count 1-0. Torelli, a guy that works very quickly on the mound, evens up the count with a swinging strike for Gavin Frazier, who lost his balance and tumbled across the left-handed batter's box. For the Zap offense last night, one of their issues was they weren't defending the plate with 2 strikes. As the 1-1 is up high for ball 2. Now, Jason Seitz had a pretty tight zone yesterday, so the pitchers were having to work for strikes, but it was going both ways as this one's fanned for strike number 2. 2-2 is the count. But the Zap were getting themselves in some 2-strike counts and taking some pitches, looking almost relying too much on that tight zone of Seitz, as the 2-2 pitch is a fastball high and away for ball 3. I imagine the Zap will be a little bit more aggressive in the batter's box here tonight. 3-2 is grounded sharply over to the third base side. Backhanded by Nick Work. Long throw on the way, and just barely in time by a quarter of a step. Gavin Frazier is called out. Nice play from Nick Work over there from third. He had to back up over about 10 feet behind the bag to field that ground ball and make the longest throw on the infield, but Kyle Finn using some of that 6'7" frame to stretch. And Richard Gilmore says he got him by a beat. That was a close play. Gavin Frazier trying to leg it out, but that'll bring up Aiden Johnson with 1 out, nobody on. And he takes a first pitch ball outside.
Yeah, and he was just barely out there at first base. That's as close of a call as you'll ever have to make. Don't envy the umps for having to make that call.
Hayden Johnson takes a fastball on the inside corner for strike one. Bang, bang, as they call it in the industry.
Hardest job out there, man.
Swing and a miss on a ball down and away from Hayden Johnson makes the count 1-2. And there is no such thing as tie goes to the runner. That's just kind of one of those rules of thumb out there that's not even really a rule of thumb. There's no rules of thumb in baseball, except between pitchers and dugouts. As strike three is taken, and that's a strikeout looking for Hayden Johnson. And it kind of goes back to what we were just talking about. You fall behind in the count 1-2. And you take a pitch right over the middle of the plate. Got to defend, got to try to foul that one off, work the count back in your favor. So with 2 outs, Ty Farwell will come up. Tried to get a little 2-out rally started here in the bottom of the first. He takes a fastball high and in for ball one to start. And a little bit of uncertainty here in the final game here at Hyde Stadium. Who's going to be back next year? As this one's grounded right back to Torelli. He fields it calmly, underhand toss to Finn at first, and that will retire the side. So Luke Torelli starts his day with a 1-2-3 outing. We head to the top of the second scoreless here at Hyde Stadium in game number 2 of the ILB Championship Series.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
Doing a little spring cleaning at your house? I'm Val Keller, City of Pierre Solid Waste Manager, letting you know the City Supply Swap program can help. We'll recycle cleaning supplies, paint, and other household chemicals you don't want anymore. Plus, you're free to take any products other people dropped off for recycling. The swap program helps our customers and keeps things out of our landfill. Supplies we accept include stains and sealers, pesticides, pool chemicals, typical cleaning agents, as well as oil-based paint, latex paint, and spray paint. For additional information, call 605-773-7434. Again, that's 773-7434 for more information about recycling your household supplies and paint. Let the City of Pierre help you get your home and garage cleared out and cleaned up for the summer months.
This public service message is brought to you by the radio stations of the DRG Media Group in Pierre.
Brady Glenn back out on the bump, still scoreless here in Pierre. Game 2 of the 2025 ILB Championship Series. So it's Owen Michelson leading things off. The 6-7-8 due up for the Sasquatch after they stranded a pair of runners in the top of the first. Brady Glenn trying to put his hometown team, or not even hometown team, he's been here for so long it might as well be.
I would say he probably feels like this is his home away from home.
As he fires in a first pitch strike. The 0-1 now from Glenn. Misses low for ball one. He was telling me the other day it has become a sort of home away from home for him. I mean, he's been with the same host family all 4 years. He says him and his mom have just really enjoyed it here. The 1-1 now from Brady Glenn. Grounded softly to second. Frazier unable to field it cleanly, but still fires over in time. Didn't panic and got it over to Palizzi in time for out number 2.
So used to having Quinn Ludwig over there. I almost thought the same thing, but good for Frazier for staying calm, cool, and collected there. With Owen Michelson's, he's not slow. He's a pretty quick runner.
Yep.
So you've got that mental clock in your head, and when you bobble it and see the ball on the ground, you start to speed that up. But Frazier with a nice play.
That one's fired in there for strike one. I correct myself, that was the first out of the inning, getting a little ahead of myself as Brady Glenn looks to make it 2 here against Karsten Hansen. The 0-1 grounded, again, a high hop to Gavin Frazier, but fielded cleanly this time and fired over to Palizzi for the second out of the inning.
Brady Glenn kind of shifting back into form after that leadoff double by Luke Torelli. He settled in nicely. I know we're in the top of the second inning with 2 outs, but good to see him not allow a leadoff double to get into kind of his thought process, and especially when you had to face Kyle Finn, Carson Rather, and Sam Kwapnoski.
Now it's Ben Foyer at the plate. He watches that one in low for ball 1. And there's nowhere to hide against this Spearfish lineup. And it is a deadly 3-4-5 of Finn, Rather, and Kwapnoski. But Brady Glenn was able to navigate. 1-0 turns 1-1 on that strike. Brady Glenn trying to go 1-2-3, match Lucas Torelli's last frame. The 1-1 now from Glenn. Runs in on the shoelaces and misses for ball 2.
Beautiful day here at the ballpark, isn't it, Dylan?
Another picture-perfect day here in Central South Dakota. 2-1. Off-speed runs a bit too high for ball 3. I'll see if Brady Glenn can refine the zone here against Ben Foyer. Another quick runner that you do not want to allow on base for free. 3-1 now. In there for strike 2. Good fastball from Brady Glenn.
Yeah, and there's a lot of life on his fastball today. That one had some zip on it. That's what makes that off-speed even more devastating and hard to pick up out of the hand of Glenn.
Payoff pitch now from Brady Glenn. Swung foul back our way and just narrowly past the press box, evading the hand of Justin Cowart.
I had that one, too. If I had the glove, I might have been able to snag that one.
Maybe the other window.
Or if Kyle Finn were up here, he would have grabbed that one, no problem.
Redo of the payoff pitch now from Glenn. The 3-2 misses awfully high and awards Ben Foyer a free base.
Yeah, not a huge deal with 2 outs. Foyer likely a candidate to try to steal second, test the arm of Ty Farwell. He's so fast that, you know, with 2 outs, might as well just test him. It's hard with a lefty on the mound to pick up the right time to steal, but Ben Foyer, the thing about his lead is he's always shifting his weight to the right, so it always looks like he's going to steal.
Glenn, first offering here to Clay Porter, drops in for a strike. So runner on first, 2 away for the Sasquatch. Brady Glenn trying to move quick through this second inning. 0-1 misses high. Ty Farwell ready to fire, doesn't have to. Count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Brady Glenn, his 4th summer in Pierce. He'll check on the runner over at first, not in time. As trying to avoid facing the top of the lineup and Luke Torelli. Save that for next inning. 1-1 from Brady Glenn. This is off the plate. Ty Farwell, the last 2 pitches, he has seemed extra ready to fire down to first base if Foyer gets caught in between. But good on Foyer to stay disciplined and be ready for those throwouts. Glenn now behind in the count, 2-1. The offering. This is high for ball 3. You don't want to issue back-to-back walks with the top of the lineup coming back around.
Yeah, and Glenn looking visibly frustrated here at himself for kind of losing that zone a little bit.
See if he can find it here on the 3-1. Lines, fires, and that one swung on a miss for strike 2.
Good changeup there from Glenn.
That's his pitch to the fans.
That's right. Yes, if you weren't with us in the Hastings series, we tried to get Brady Glenn to make a pitch to the fans.
A 3-2 payoff popped a mile high. Aiden Johnson settling under it and making the play for the 3rd out. We'll tell you all about Brady Glenn's pitch to the fan when we get back here for the bottom of the 2nd. Still scoreless at Hyde Stadium here in Game 2 of the ILB Championship Series.
The summer is here, and you know what that means. The Oahe Zap are back, and we at DRG Media Group are bringing you coverage of every Zap home game all summer long. You can hear all the home Zap games on River 92.7, or you can watch them live on drgnews.com at the River 92.7 station page. The Zap are offering you fans something new every single night, so get out to Hyde Stadium for some Zap baseball this summer. Purchase your tickets on oahezap.com or buy them at the box office. If you can't make it to the game, We've got you covered on River 92.7 Oahe Zap Baseball, brought to you by DRG Media Group.
Luke Torelli back out there as Brady Glenn getting out of the second inning, scoreless once again. We were telling you about his pitch to the fans. That was a funny moment, Justin.
Well, if you weren't with us on that broadcast, playoff baseball was coming up. He knows this community better than anybody in that Zap dugout. And who better than Brady Glenn to deliver a pitch to the fans of why they should come out to the ballpark on Tuesday and Wednesday night to cheer on the Zaps. We said, Brady, give your best pitch to the fans. And he said, probably have to say my changeup. It's like, well, you did complete the assignment. We did ask for your best pitch to the fans, but maybe your best sales pitch to the fans of why they should come out.
We never got that sales pitch either.
No, we didn't. We just laughed about the change-up comment.
4, 5, 6.
Kid only thinks about pitching, and I love that about him.
The 4, 5, 6 do it for the Oahe Zap. Vince Polizzi, Quinn Ludvigson, and Noah Cadena. As Torelli's first offering to Polizzi misses low for ball 1.
And I won't say where Vince Polizzi and I were having a chat, but before the game I was talking to him.
That one misses low for ball 2.
And he and I were just kind of discussing that today and what this would mean for him to have a big day.
So that one is rocketed foul back down the first base line. Some kids taking cover.
Yeah, that'll make everybody in the ballpark turn their head over to make sure nobody was on the receiving end of that sharply hit foul ball.
2-1 now from Torelli. Misses a bit too high for ball 3. So Polizzi in a hitter-friendly count. He would love to lead the yard. 3-1, turns 4-1, and Polizzi will take his base.
And that's got to be tough for Vince Polizzi. You want to step up and give the fans a big home run shot, but he's a professional hitter and stays patient, doesn't swing at anything out of the zone. And now we get to see, I wonder if Quinn Ludvigson changes his approach as a hitter playing left field today, if he's got a little bit of a different mentality.
I'm excited to see him out there in left. We've seen him a lot at first and has been stellar as he ducks out of the way of that first pitch offering for ball 1. He's been great defensively over at first. We're going to get to see him out in left field. 1-0. Catches the highest part of the zone for strike 1.
Yeah, and when you talk and kind of get to know Quinn and look at him kind of physically.
1-1. Grounded sharply to second. This one might be 2. Polizzi out at second. And Ludvigson unable to beat it out in time. Good defense there from the second baseman, Clay Porter.
Yeah, that was a nice turn and a tough turn to make, too, for Porter and Ben Foyer. That ball kind of brought Porter off to his left, away from the second base bag, so when he fielded it, he kind of had to rotate his body 180 degrees and make a good throw to Ben Foyer. But they made that look routine.
Now Noah Cadena with the bases empty watches strike 1. See if Noah Cadena can get a 2-out rally started for the Zap. Fans over that one for strike 2.
And Torelli has looked very comfortable out there in his starting role. Some spot that he hasn't been a lot this year. Helps when you got guys like Clay Porter and Ben Foyer in your middle infield behind you.
0-2 to Cadena. Swung on a miss for strike 3. So a double play assists another 1-2-3 inning for Lucas Torelli. Pitchers duel shaping up here at Hyde Stadium. Still scoreless heading into the third.
Hey, it's your phone talking. Yeah, your phone. You know, that thing you're constantly picking up and poking around. Listen, when you're behind the wheel, would you please give me a break? You'll have plenty of time for your TikToks and, texting your friends after you put it in park. Distracted driving, friend. No joke. One quick text or social media feed can cause a crash. And hey, I don't want any part of that. You got someplace to be. And trust me, I'll enjoy the downtime. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety and its station.
Dunes Golf is celebrating their 30th anniversary this summer. They look forward to seeing old friends and new acquaintances on the driving range and on the course throughout the summer. Play 9 or 18 holes. Pay by the round.
You
Save
got
with a
someplace
punch
to be,
card, or
and
become
trust
a
me.
member for unlimited play. Dunes Golf is a great location for group outings or a summer play day. Call 605-223-2525 or see golfdunes.com. Just 1 mile north of Fort Pierre on Highway 1806. Dunes Golf.
Thinking of travel, Pierre Regional Airport offers nonstop flights from Pierre to Denver. From there, you can fly anywhere. Book to your destination and check bags through on United, Delta, or American Airlines. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets to Denver, then connecting to your destination. Save travel time and money, avoid the crowds, and free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport.
Welcome back here to the top of the third inning, as the top of the lineup will lead things off for the Sasquatch. Brady Glenn still on the mound, and Luke Torelli takes a first pitch strike on a fastball up in the zone.
Good offering there to start Torelli off. You'd love to get this out, lefty-lefty matchup.
Glenn ahead 0-1, and that one misses down and away for ball one. And for those that are listening but want to tune in, you can find the link on YouTube. You can also find it on drgnews.com at the River 92.7 station page, as Glenn just misses outside with an off-speed pitch for ball two. Another really good crowd on hand for this playoff game. We'll be interested to get these attendance numbers in. They've set record attendance numbers throughout the regular season here at Hyde Stadium, as Torelli fouls that one back into Capitol Avenue. But there has certainly been a buzz around this team, and winning kind of cures all, Dylan.
Yeah, it certainly does, Justin.
We'll bring the fans out in droves, as the 2-2 from Glenn is chopped foul back into the lower leg area of Ty Farwell. It's a dangerous spot to take a foul ball. So glad to see Farwell up and moving around. But especially, I think it was that Fremont Moose series, that 3-game series, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday night, as Glenn misses outside, count runs full. Where we saw like just a steady progression of attendance throughout the week. That Thursday night game was about as packed as I've ever seen this place, as the payoff pitch misses low, and it's a leadoff walk, and Glenn is looking pretty frustrated with himself. He's kind of slamming his cleats down into the dirt, throwing his head back, shaking his head quite a bit, talking to himself. Kind of an uncharacteristic view of Brady Glenn that you don't see very often, and definitely we didn't see up here in the broadcast booth when he joined us for a couple innings.
And I get the frustration because he's getting ahead of these batters, and he's just losing the zone late in these counts.
Well, he finds the zone there to Nick Work with a curveball in for strike one.
It feels like he started off every one of these batters 0-1, 0-2, maybe 1-2, and then is just kind of losing them as the at-bat progresses.
Glenn comes set with the 0-1, that one in the dirt for ball one. Well, the dream scenario for the Zap was to win Game 1 and Game 2 and go on the road to Spearfish, and only have to win one to claim the first ever ILB championship, as this fastball is in there for strike two. Now it's shifted. I think that was obviously the dream scenario, but the realistic scenario was to split. You had seen a lot of splits in the second half of the season when you were playing Spearfish. As the 1-2 is lifted high towards shallow center field. Underneath it is Gavin Frazier calling everybody off and squeezing the first out of the inning. But I think it's pretty obvious now this is a must-win game for the Zap if they want a realistic shot at winning that trophy. Just go and essentially start a new 3-game series in Spearfish on the road. They'll have a travel day tomorrow, and then we'll pick back up the series on Friday. As Kyle Finn lifts one high down the left field line. That one is going to stay in the ballpark if somebody can get to it, and Quinn Ludvigsen He started tracking back at first, and I don't blame him. But had he had a better beat on that ball, he might have been able to get over to that Sasquatch bullpen and make the play. That may be a little bit of that outfield inexperience coming out for Quinn Ludvigsen. Hard to pick up those balls off the bat when you haven't spent a lot of time out there in the outfield.
And that one might hurt a little bit because a guy like Emiliano Curiel might have been fast enough to reach that one from left.
So it's an 0-1 count. Make it 0-2 to Kyle Finn as he swings over top of that off-speed pitch. Yeah, you don't want to award any extra pitches to a guy like Kyle Finn if you don't have to. But again, Brady Glenn ahead, 0-2 is the count. We'll see if he can dispose of Kyle Finn, and that one's just fouled off the end of the bat. Finn got a piece to stay alive. Couldn't ask for better weather. That breeze coming through and on a 77-degree day. It was cloudy for most of the afternoon, keeping things pretty cool. And the sun decided to peek out. Torelli's taken off for second, but Kyle Finn fouls that one off into the netting behind home plate, so Torelli will have to head back to first. Anything to tire out the opposing starting pitcher is a good proposition to me.
Yeah, that is a smart move. I mean, especially if the Zap limited bullpen options to go to.
0-2 on the way to Kyle Finn. That one's ripped towards Pugrad. What a glove play. On to Gavin Frazier to second for one, and he was tripped up on the slide there by Luke Torelli. Torelli's cleat kind of caught the ankle of Gavin Frazier, but a great play from Jared Pugrad to knock that one down. He kind of slid foot first into that ball that was riding up the middle, and kind of from his backside turned and tossed it to Gavin Frazier, who was covering second. So they get the leadoff runner. Finn was too fast to beat out the double play opportunity, but it's Carson Rather with 2 outs.
And at his height, it doesn't take too many steps to get to first base.
Yeah, that's something that Dylan, you and I will never know about,
yeah,
my friend. That one is in there for strike one.
I got a decent stride, but I'll never have a 6'7" stride.
Yeah, you've got some pretty good speed on you. As the 0-1 misses outside for ball one.
That was a good one, Justin.
I'm just trying to boost the confidence of my play-by-play guy before he heads back to Indiana tomorrow. 1-1 count to Rather. That one just missing low for ball two.
It's going to be a long drive back.
It's a shame you couldn't time it up to where you had some Zap baseball to watch or listen to on the way back.
I know it.
As Rather takes a called strike on the outside corner, and Brady Glenn has evened it up at 2-2. So we'll see if Glenn can get out of the top of the third here, with just giving up the one fielder's choice. The 2-2 pitch is chopped softly to a waiting Vince Polizzi at first. He takes 2 steps to his left, puts his foot on the bag, and retires the side. So the Sasquatch leave one stranded. We head to the bottom of the third, still scoreless here at Hyde Stadium. Zap looking to put some runs on the board here in the championship series on River 92.7.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
Doing a little spring cleaning at your house? I'm Val Keller, City of Pierre Solid Waste Manager, letting you know the City Supply Swap program can help. We'll recycle cleaning supplies, paint, and other household chemicals you don't want anymore. Plus, you're free to take any products other people dropped off for recycling. The swap program helps our customers and keeps things out of our landfill. Supplies we accept include stains and sealers, pesticides, pool chemicals, typical cleaning agents, as well as oil-based paint, latex paint, and spray paint. For additional information, call 605-773-7434. Again, that's 773-7434 for more information about recycling your household supplies and paint. Let the City of Pierre help you get your home and garage cleared out and cleaned up for the summer months.
This public service message is brought to you by the radio stations of the DRG Media Group in Pierre.
Bottom of the third we go. Jared Pugrad will be leading things off here for the Oahe Zap. 7-8-9 due up for the home team, and Luke Torelli back out on the mound. Torelli has been pitching very consistently and very efficiently for the Squatch. He is yet to allow a hit. See if the Zap can change that here in the bottom of the third. Justin Cowart alongside Dylan Beach and Eli Lewis in the broadcast booth for you as this one's fouled back our way. We might have a chance. It bounces off the grates above us and never comes back down.
Dang it.
And that one got the juices flowing. As if we needed that on a playoff ball game like this, as Pugrad takes a fastball off the plate for ball one. That would be a nice parting gift for us. A foul ball up into the press box as Pugrad sends this one toward foul territory. A little bit off to our right and out of play. Count at 1-2. Pugrad has swung one of the hottest bats for the Zap as that one bounces in for ball two. The only problem is about half of those swings have ended up in the glove of a defender, making an incredible web gem play. Pugrad takes a ball on the outside corner to work the count full. Zap got the leadoff hitter on in the bottom of the second, but a double play emptied the bases. As Pugrad rips one deep into left. Chasing back at the wall is Michelson. He looks up and makes the play at the warning track. Pugrad put a charge into that one. And if that wind was blowing the opposite direction, I think Jared Pugrad's touching them all.
Yeah, the wind blowing back in on that one towards right field and hit it to one of the deeper portions of the ballpark. And, man, he can't catch a break at times.
No, he sure can't. That was a nice play by Michelson, who too is battling the wind out there and the sunlight. As Phillips swings and misses at the first offering from Torelli for strike one. Michelson was battling that sunlight last night when a rip shot bounced off his glove in left field, which started a little rally for the Zap as Phillips takes ball one on the outside corner. But the Zap, after scoring those 6 runs in the first 3 innings, just went cold. They went quiet as Phillips lines that one foul out the left side of the ballpark. They went quiet. They got 1 run back in the bottom of the 8th to pull it back within 2 and left some runners on in that 8th inning as well. As Phillips again lines one foul. But it just felt like when the Zap couldn't bring those runs across in the bottom of the 8th inning that you kind of exhausted all your opportunities. And, of course, the Sasquatch came up big in the 9th as well. Phillips swings on that one. He's looking at Corey Baker, saying, I fouled that one off, but Corey Baker's going to disagree, and Phillips is left stunned and walking back to the dugout. Credit Carson Rather for getting on that one pretty instantly and going to tag Phillips. But Phillips certainly thought he caught a piece of that ball. But it will be the second out of the inning, and it will bring up Emiliano Curiel in the 9 spot.
Yeah, if you're the Zap, you just don't know how long you can hold Spearfish quiet like you have through the first 3 innings. You've got to get some run support out there for Brady Glenn.
So Torelli and Curiel facing for the first time here tonight. Torelli starts him with a fastball, and Curiel drives it into center field. Underneath it is Sam Kwapnoski, and that's the 3rd out. So still no hits for the Zap. We remain scoreless as we head to the top of the 4th inning here at Hyde Stadium.
Hey, it's your phone talking. Yeah, your phone. You know, that thing you're constantly picking up and poking around. Listen, when you're behind the wheel, would you please give me a break? You'll have plenty of time for your TikToks and, I don't know, texting your friends after you put it in park. Distracted driving, friend. No joke. One quick text or social media feed can cause a crash. And hey, I don't want any part of that. You got someplace to be. And trust me, I'll enjoy it at downtime. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety and its station.
Dunes Golf is celebrating their 30th anniversary this summer. They look forward to seeing old friends and new acquaintances on the driving range and on the course throughout the summer. Play 9 or 18 holes. Pay by the round. Save with a punch card or become a member for unlimited play. Dunes Golf is a great location for group outings or a summer play day. Call 605-223-2525 or see golfdunes.com. Just 1 mile north of Fort Pierre on Highway 1806. Dunes Golf.
Thinking of travel, Pierre Regional Airport offers nonstop flights from Pierre to Denver. From there, you can fly anywhere. Book to your destination and check bags through on United, Delta, or American Airlines. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets to Denver, then connecting to your destination. Save travel time and money, avoid the crowds, and free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate.
Brady Glenn back out on the bump for the fourth. He starts off Sam Klopnoski with a strike.
This is kind of forming into the pitcher's duel that we expected last night.
And I was shocked that we had a pitcher's duel as long as we did last night. And it's lasted even longer here tonight, Justin, as Glenn misses for ball one.
I'm also glad that our viewers at home got to get a nice little tour of our press box there from Eli Lewis.
To be fair, there is stick drift on the camera, as that one is fouled off for strike two. But come on, Eli, we gotta stay alive here, kid. It's the last broadcast.
And we got the beer batter behind 1 and 2.
See if Sam Klopnoski can get the fans here at Hyde Stadium $2 off their beer. The 1-2 from Brady Glenn swung foul back towards Capitol Ave.
I always love it when we have a big crowd where the beer batter strikes out to watch the herd of folks that have just been dying
itching
to get a discount on that ice cold beer as they migrate over to the beer tent.
1-2 lined into shallow right field. That one's going to get down in front of Emiliano Curiel for a leadoff single for Klopnoski.
That was a pretty good piece of hitting from Klopnoski. He had to go down low to get to that ball and still was able to put some power on it. And Emiliano Curiel, respecting the power of Klopnoski, had him played pretty deep.
Yeah. Seen Klopnoski leave the yard a couple of times already against the Zap this year, and that was an impressive piece of hitting, getting down to that ball and kind of just clubbing it out into right field. So it's a leadoff single for the second hit of the ball game for the Sasquatch. Brings Michelson to the plate. He skies that one foul down the right field line. As Brady Glenn love a ground ball here. Get a couple of outs. He's worked quickly through this one. Has had a couple of jams that he's navigated. As takes a long look at the runner and deals the 0-1. Fouled off the chalk line back towards the dugout. So Brady Glenn now ahead. 0-2 in the count. And a scoreless ball game here in Game 2 of the ILB Championship Series. Runner on first for Brady Glenn. The lefty would be hard to steal on him. The 0-2 swung, popped towards left field. Quinn Ludvigsen giving chase, but that one's going to drop. So it'll be a station-to-station single.
And that's just left field inexperience right there. That's a pop fly that you're in a championship series, you need your left fielder to make the play on.
Yeah, Quinn Ludvigsen out in the left to free up a spot for Noah Cadena to DH today. So they have Polizzi instead of DHing. They got him at first. They got Cadena DHing, and then Quinn Ludvigsen out in left. That was an out the Zap would have loved to have had as Carson Hansen shows bunt and bunts it foul. So now runners on first and second, nobody away. Carson Hansen trying to knock these runners around. See if he goes to bunt here with one strike. Justin's biggest pet peeve. The 0-1 in there for strike two. No bunt shown. But he'll take strike two regardless.
I just don't get it when you have great hitters. And this isn't just the Spearfish. This is other teams in the league, including the Zap. We've seen it a couple times.
I don't like the 0-1 bunt for any team. 0-2 fouled back towards Capitol Ave.
You just have, and sometimes it often comes with some of the better hitters too. Which, when you eliminate a swing from one of your better hitters, you take a huge advantage. You take a huge weapon away from those guys.
Yeah.
Now, the Sasquatch proved why you do bunt last night. We saw the Hastings Sodbusters prove earlier on in the regular season why bunting can be a weapon for you.
Runners on first and second. The 0-2 now from Brady Glenn. Off speed, drops in there for strike three. Carson Hansen, not a big fan of that one.
But when has a hitter ever been a fan of a call strike three call?
Never.
Yeah, it was a good pitch from Brady Glenn. And that's exactly what he needed. You felt like there was an out left, out on the field there defensively on that hit to left field. So you're kind of working behind the 8 ball if you're Brady Glenn. But a good way to get back into this inning. And now you got to force out at every base. It's going to be tough to double up this guy, but
Ben Foyer climbs in, swings over that one for strike one.
We've seen some double plays that looked a little bit maybe unplayable that have worked, for lack of a better phrase.
0-1 from Glenn. Just misses a bit outside for ball one. Brady Glenn trying to get a double play ball here. Be a hard guy to double up, but it's close enough to the shortstop or second baseman. It might still be possible if the speedy Foyer at the plate. That one missing outside for ball two.
Pretty interesting defensive lineup here in terms of their positioning. Outfield playing very shallow on Ben Foyer. Not a guy with a ton of power, more so dominates with his speed.
Great contact bat. So he launches that one high for ball three.
But now if I'm the outfield, maybe I'm backing up just a little bit. I don't want Foyer to beat me over my head with runners on first and second. If a ball gets behind you, both of those runs are going to score pretty easily.
3 balls and 1 strike to Foyer. The offering misses high and inside for ball 4, and he'll take his base and load him up with one away. Frustrating inning forming here for Brady Glenn, who feels he should have 2 outs right now, but instead, bases loaded with 1 away. Get the double play at the plate. We've seen the Zap do that before this year, but it is always going to be a hard one to turn. As Glenn sets and fires, misses just barely for a first pitch ball.
And it's always asking a lot with bases loaded and 1 out to get that double play that gets you out of the inning, but nothing would be bigger for Glenn here with the top of the order in the on-deck circle.
Zap did it yesterday with bases loaded as that one finds the zone for strike 1. It was a big play. Jared Pugrad turning 2 and getting him out of a massive jam early yesterday. And now in a scoreless ball game, feel like you need another one. 1-1 from Brady Glenn. Fouled back into the fencing for strike 2. Brady Glenn just looking for that second out of the inning. If you get a strikeout or a shallow pop-up, just trying to limit a deep fly ball here in a pitcher-friendly count. 1-2, swung, driven towards center field. Andrew Phillips playing it, firing to the plate, and the runner's going to come in to score as that one pulls Farwell up, gets behind him at the plate, and everyone will advance to second and third. Zap trading out for a run. Spearfish is out in front, 1-0.
Well, if you're Brady Glenn, that's kind of what you're looking for. I guess they're going to go and make sure that the runner tagged in time. No, not one single umpire is looking over at third base.
Nobody's looking at it.
So now Corey Baker everybody's still looking. No signal awarded yet, and Corey Baker finally says safe. I don't think that anybody had a clue what was going on there for a couple seconds. But if you're Brady Glenn,
you had no interest in it.
You got the line out that you needed. Obviously, it scored the run, but early in the game, if you can limit this to a one-run inning, you'll take that second out.
That one swung on and missed for strike one to Luke Torelli. So Brady Glenn gives up the first run of the ball game. See if the Zap can keep it at just that one and give their offense a chance to respond in the bottom of the fourth. 2 away, runners on second and third. The offering from Glenn in there for strike 2. Good comeback at bat here for Brady Glenn. Back ahead once again. We'll see if he can get out of this one cleanly. The 0-2 offering now from Brady Glenn. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Glenn gives up 1. Squatch jump out in front, 1-0. We'll see if the Zap can respond here in the bottom of the fourth on River 92.7.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
Doing a little spring cleaning at your house? I'm Val Keller, City of Pierre Solid Waste Manager, letting you know the City Supply Swap program can help. We'll recycle cleaning supplies, paint, and other household chemicals you don't want anymore. Plus, you're free to take any products other people dropped off for recycling. The swap program helps our customers and keeps things out of our landfill. Supplies we accept include stains and sealers, pesticides, pool chemicals, typical cleaning agents, as well as oil-based paint, latex paint, and spray paint. For additional information, call 605-773-7434. Again, that's 773-7434 for more information about recycling your household supplies and paint. Let the City of Pierre help you get your home and garage cleared out and cleaned up for the summer months.
This public service message is brought to you by the radio stations of the DRG Media Group in Pierre.
Squatch jump out early, 1-0 here in the bottom of the fourth. Top of the lineup for the Oahe Zap do Gavin Frazier, Aiden Johnson, and Ty Farwell. So if you're going to try to brew up a response, this would be where you could do it, Justin.
Yeah, they haven't registered a hit yet. Even if Gavin Frazier can get on via walk, just put some runners on base and put a little pressure on Torelli, who's pitched pretty carefree.
Torelli has been outstanding so far in this one. Yes, there's not been a lot of blemishes on his day, as Gavin Frazier lines that one out sharply to right field. Settling under it, making the play is Carson Hansen.
Yeah, the Zap have hit some balls hard today. They just have been hitting them right to defenders.
That's usually a pretty big issue, is if you can't find that real estate. It's going to stay a bit dry out there, and the Zap still looking for their first hit. Now 1 out to the fourth inning. Aiden Johnson climbing in, starting today at third base, moving Ty Farwell behind the plate.
He's got a ton of room down the left field line and in left center.
As a pull hitter, he has got to be salivating at that opportunity.
Sam Kwapnoski,
as count runs even at 1 apiece after that strike.
Shifted way over towards right field. They must be thinking the fastball is a little bit tough to catch up on for
as Johnson
Zap hitters.
Flies that one towards the first baseman Kyle Finn in foul territory, making the play for out number 2. Torelli has just been making quick work through this one. That last offering, just his 40th of the game.
Yeah, he's just mowing through this Zap lineup, he's getting some hard hit balls, but his defenders are there for each play. But they're jumping on him early, and he's getting quick outs, and that's a pitcher's best friend.
Now Ty Farwell to the plate, swings over that one for strike one.
The other thing, too, is this affords the Sasquatch the opportunity not to have to dive into that bullpen and get to their relief pitchers too early.
Now Ty Farwell grounds that one sharply to second. Porter fielding and firing over to Finn in time for out number 3. The Zap still yet to find a response here for Luke Torelli. We'll see if they can keep it at 1 apiece or 1-0 here in the top of the 5th.
The summer is here, and you know what that means. The Oahe Zap are back, and we at DRG Media Group are bringing you coverage of every Zap home game all summer long. You can hear all the home Zap games on River 92.7, or you can watch them live on drgnews.com at the River 92.7 station page. The Zap are offering you fans something new every single night, so get out to Hyde Stadium for some Zap baseball this summer. Purchase your tickets on oahezap.com or buy them at the box office. If you can't make it to the game, we've got you covered on River 92.7 Oahe Zap Baseball, brought to you by DRG Media Group.
We are in the top of the 5th inning here at Hyde Stadium. The Sasquatch leading 1-0 in Game 2 of this championship series. It is a beautiful night at the ballpark. Hello, Justin Cowart, welcoming you back into the broadcast booth alongside Dylan Beach and Eli Lewis. And Lucas Torelli's been absolutely outstanding so far tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he has just been mowing down the Zap lineup, and they've made some good contact, but they've all been routine plays. Credit to that Sasquatch outfield. They have been playing and shading this Zap lineup just perfectly here tonight.
Brady Glenn had to wait a little bit before Ty Farwell could throw his gear on and get out to catch, so he'll have a few less warm-up pitches here, or maybe we'll just have a little bit more time. I want to give a big thanks to all the folks and all the fans who have followed us along all season, made their way out to Hyde Stadium, tuned in on River 92.7, drgnews.com, the Oahe Zap YouTube. It has been a very fun season of Zap baseball, and it's been fun to bring you along with the ride wherever you may be listening, whatever fan base you may be a part of. We're happy to have you. There's a good number of fans in attendance here again tonight. Everybody enjoying the ballpark, enjoying some food, enjoying some cold beers. As Brady Glenn has completed his warm-up routine. Dylan, it's our last broadcast together, at least for now. We're still waiting on some big decisions to be made from Dylan Beach, as if he wants to spend another summer in Pierre, if he's going to go on to bigger and better things. But we've had some good memories. I'm going to task you to think up of some of those great memories we've had this season. As Brady Glenn gets back to work, and he starts with a ball on the outside corner.
I think the best one has to be Jake Daly with the cup on his head during that at-bat.
That was great. Not just the at-bat. He ran the bases. He got a couple pickoff attempts as Nick Work drives this one, testing Quinn Ludvigsen, and he makes a leaping grab. What a play from the newest left fielder for the Oahe Zap. Quinn Ludvigsen looks like he's been playing out there all season long, and he might have felt like he had to make up on that ball that dropped in front of him for Brady Glenn, and he more than did so there, making an outstanding grab, stretching all the way out, looking like Jumpman out there in left field to secure the first out of the inning.
That's good redemption there for Quinn Ludvigsen.
Shirley saving extra bases. Now Glenn will have to deal with Kyle Finn, but he gets to do so with the bases empty, and he misses down in the dirt for ball one. Glenn working from the windup. 1-1, fouled off the leg of Kyle Finn. He's so tall that I don't think that he's probably got the longest pants that they offer, and they're still running a little bit short on him.
You can still see those socks.
Yeah, his white socks are peeking through there. He just looks like a baseball player, though, even though he stands at 6'7", not your average baseball height. But he's just got the nonchalant just stance, kind of the way he moves around the field. He just looks comfortable out there. Here's the 2-1 to Finn. That one ripped towards Ludvigsen and left. That's going to get down for a base hit. And Finn will round first and stay put. So a 1-out single will put Finn on first and bring up Carson Rather for the Squatch.
And Kyle Finn sits at like an average, like, pro basketball player height. I mean, I know his coaches in high school had to have been like, dude, can we get you out for basketball? Like, can we, like, get you out at the 5 spot? Like, can we focus in on basketball instead of baseball?
I'm sure he probably played a little bit of basketball in his day.
He had to have. I mean, 6'7".
And he probably gets that question all the time. As Carson Rather watches a first pitch change up in there for strike 1. And he rips one through the gap on the right side for a base hit. Finn will round second, throws on the brakes, and they might have him out at second, but Pugrad couldn't get the ball out of his glove in time as Finn dived back safely. Finn took a big trip around that second base bag, and he got about halfway to third, and his coach told him to put the stop sign on. So he hit the brakes, and that relay came in quite quickly from Emiliano Curiel and right. Pugrad cut it off, but he couldn't toss it over in time. So now Kwapnoski will bat with 2 runners on and just 1 out. He pops this one over the Sasquatch dugout and just barely missing a young fan that's playing with some grass over there. I think he needs to get somebody over there to maybe shield him from some foul balls. But it didn't faze him. He's still picking away at that green grass over behind the dugout. And Kwapnoski's behind 0-1. Glenn's delivery curves in there for strike 2. Love to get a strikeout here of Kwapnoski and face Michelson with 2 outs. There's still runners on first and second.
And this crowd's still waiting for a playoff beer batter to go down.
Here's the 0-2 from Glenn. And that's off his leg, and it drops down behind the mound, and everybody's going to be safe. Glenn with a grimace there as that one had some heat behind it. He's looking at his left hand. He might have caught some of those fingers on his pitching hand. And now Jamie Habiger is going to go out and take a look. Seems just about everything's kind of going in the favor of the Sasquatch here. That one might have been 2 as Pugrad was shaded up the middle, keeping Kyle Finn close at second. And it looks like Glenn was trying to get out of the way, but it was hit so hard that he just couldn't help but get hit by that ball. But hey, he has sold Habiger that he's good enough to go.
Yeah, I think Ryan Wingard in the bullpen thought he was going to be coming in there. He was walking that way, and now he heads back to the bullpen.
So Jason Seitz will award a few warm-up pitches for Brady Glenn just to make sure that everything's still functioning properly. Yeah, we talked to Tyler Hoffman before the game. He was up here getting a tape job. He took one off the leg in a similar bounce on the road. And he was sporting a bruise that started at his kneecap and went all the way down to the bottom part of his foot. Bruise that would make Nick Golden happy. That one's off the end of the bat, a cue shot that rolls foul down the first base line. So it's an 0-1 count to start Owen Michelson. Bases are loaded with just 1 out. Brady Glenn with a bit of misfortune on that last ground ball. Glenn covering the face with the glove as he picks up the pitch from Farwell, and Michelson will take time. So we reset. 0-1 is the count with 1 out. Glenn delivers, swing and a miss for strike 2. Couldn't catch up to the fastball. And if he could get Michelson out, it would surely help the cause here with the bases juiced. 0-2, Glenn readies, deals, and fires. Just a bit high for ball 1. Attendance numbers over 500 today. And steadily picking up as people see a big crowd on Capitol Avenue, and they decide to pull in and come watch some Zap playoff baseball. Here's the 1-2, and he hits him on the left shoulder. That'll walk in a run, and that was the last thing Brady Glenn wanted to do with a 1-2 count, was hit the batter. It'll keep the bases loaded, and the carousel continues to turn. That'll be Karsten Hansen. That'll be the next batter here for the Sasquatch, and more frustration visible from Brady Glenn.
Yeah, and he's been flirting around these jams all day, and finally the Sasquatch starting to get to him, and the 1-2 count, that is the one spot you can't miss.
So it's 2-0 Sasquatch here. That first pitch misses high for ball 1. Aiden Johnson playing in on the skirt of the infield, but he's almost in that shortstop position. How far he shaded over to his left with the left-handed hitter. That one in there for a strike. Good fastball from Glenn. And we are awaiting one more special guest to join us here in the broadcast booth. Dylan's chauffeur for the next day. As this one's rifled right to Gavin Frazier. He looks around wanting to get the double play. Not to be. All the Sasquatch runners got back in time, but a line out to second base will be how Karsten Hansen's retired, and with 2 outs, it'll bring up Ben Foyer. But yeah, your dad's coming into town to help you move, help you get back to Indiana, and he's going to make it in time. Well, that is if these pitchers slow down a little bit to catch a couple of these innings.
We're going to turn it into a road trip tomorrow.
As Glenn starts Foyer off with a first pitch strike.
Hit the Corn Palace.
Oh, there you go.
Stay a night in Dyersville.
I think you'll be pretty impressed with the Corn Palace. As Glenn's 0-1 misses high for ball 1.
My dad's a farmer, so I feel like we would be kind of missing out if we didn't hit the Corn Palace on the way back.
And I think you would be smart to do so. You might have a couple tidbits and facts for you. As the 1-1 from Glenn misses down and away for ball 2. Has he talked to you at all about the corn sweats? You heard about that in the Midwest area? We'll have to ask him about that. Glenn with a 2-1 count. 2 outs. Gets a swing and a miss from Foyer to even the count up at 2 apiece. You haven't heard about the corn sweats?
He's made it.
Is that him? Oh, man, the resemblance is uncanny. Kenneth is in the building. Glenn with the 2-2 count and 2 outs. Off the plate, ball 3. Now Glenn feels like he has to fire a strike here with the bases loaded, trailing 2-0 here in the top of the 5th inning. Payoff pitch coming. Runners go. Strike 3 called. Ben Foyer goes down looking. He doesn't like the call, but it's out number 3, and Glenn gets out of it with just giving up the 1 run. That might be the end of the line for Brady Glenn. He gives up 2 runs, but it could have been a lot worse. The Zap look to answer as we head to the bottom of the 5th here at Hyde Stadium.
Thinking of travel? Pierre Regional Airport offers non-stop flights to Denver. Starting August 1st, book your destination at United.com. With United Mileage Plus, you can save more by earning miles when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. 1-hour flights to Denver and the world beyond. Avoid the crowds, avoid the drive, and enjoy free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. United Airlines in Pierre starting August 1st. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre.
We're good at making excuses for things we don't want to do.
I can't work late because my cat has a job interview.
Unfortunately, we're also good at making excuses for things we shouldn't do, like driving drunk.
There's nothing on the back roads but cows.
The truth is, there's no good reason to drink and drive, not even if you stick to the back roads. If you drink, don't drive. No excuses. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, South Dakota Broadcasters Association, and this station.
If you're interested in becoming a valued sponsor of an Oahe Zap broadcast, you can contact us for more information at sports@dakotaradiogroup.com. or call us at 605-224-8686.
Hey Zap baseball fans, it's Justin Cowart. If you're interested in a podcast that's sports and only sports, you need to check out Players Perspective. I have athletes and coaches from the South Dakota area and across the country, from the high school all the way up to the professional level. Come on and tell stories of their biggest and best moments of their athletic careers. If it's sports, you bet we cover it on Players Perspective Podcast, sponsored by Avera. You can find it wherever you find podcasts by searching DRG.
Vince Polizzi starts off the bottom of the fifth with a drive out to center field. That'll be collected by Sam Kwapnoski. My shameless plug running a little bit too long on the Players Perspective Podcast. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Luke Torelli as he continues his efficient work, leading 2-0 here in the 5th inning. Quinn Ludvigsen will climb in. He has yet to surrender a hit. As Luke Torelli, he's been fantastic. And he starts off Ludvigsen with a high strike. And a swing and a miss for strike 2.
This is such an impressive start from a guy who spends most of his time out in the outfield, and it's by far his longest outing of the year, and man, he has just been sharp out there today.
The 0-2 to Ludvigsen is swung on, fouled off, and, well, that's not fouled off. It was dropped out of the glove of Carson Rather, but he fires down to first, and Quinn Ludvigsen is retired. So that's quickly 2 outs. That'll bring up Noah Cadena. Trying to just get on base, get some sort of pressure on Luke Torelli. He has just been working effortlessly. He looks almost too comfortable out there on the mound. That one misses outside for ball 1. And he's working so quickly, his third baseman, Nick Work, didn't even have time to get back in his position. The only thing that will slow down Torelli now is a loose bullpen ball that was thrown by Carson Rather and thrown out of the ballpark. 2-0 count here to Cadena, make it 3-0 as that one misses high. Rather was trying to fire that ball back to the bullpen catcher Mason Lang, as Cadena works a 4-pitch walk. But when Rather threw it back, he put so much power behind it, it bounced off the fence next to the bullpen and out into the parking lot. So Jared Pugrad will come up with 2 outs and a runner on first. And I got a feeling that Jared Pugrad is going to get the the Zap's first hit of the game here. Just going to will it into existence. First pitch to Pugrad, down low for ball 1. Pugrad hit one really hard and really deep out to left. Owen Michelson made the play on it at the warning track. As Pugrad fouls that 1-0 pitch into the screen.
And if there was any sort of wind helping him, Jared Pugrad likely would have scored the first run of the ball game, and just was blowing the opposite way of what he needed. And another one that he's had just kind of die at the warning track this season.
Yeah, kind of an uncharacteristic wind as the 1-1 is fanned for strike 2. I would say about 80% of the time it's blowing out of the ballpark. But today kind of blowing across the park, out from left field, in towards the Zap dugout on the first base line. Pugrad stays alive, fouls that one off towards the Sasquatch dugout. Had to reach out over the plate to make contact with that one, had his arms fully extended. But he did the job, stayed alive, count still 1-2. Torelli comes set and delivers, and Pugrad chops this one towards the left side. Foyer sliding, gets to it, comes up firing, but it's not in time, and now Cadena's going to try to take third, and he's going to get thrown out. Not really sure why he tried to do that. Kyle Finn gunned him down. Zap do get their first hit via Jared Pugrad, but Noah Cadena runs into the third out inexplicably. We head to the top of the 6th inning. Zap still trailing 2-0.
Hey, it's your phone talking. Yeah, your phone. You know, that thing you're constantly picking up and poking around? Listen, when you're behind the wheel, would you please give me a break? You'll have plenty of time for your TikToks and, I don't know, texting your friends after you put it in park. Distracted driving, friend, no joke. One quick text or social media feed can cause a crash, and hey, I don't want any part of that. You got someplace to be, and trust me, I'll enjoy the downtime. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety and this station.
Dunes Golf is celebrating their 30th anniversary this summer. They look forward to seeing old friends and new acquaintances on the driving range and on the course throughout the summer. Play 9 or 18 holes, pay by the round, save with a punch card, or become a member for unlimited play. Dunes Golf is a great location for group outings or a summer play day. Call 605-223-2525 or see golfdunes.com, just 1 mile north of Fort Pierre on Highway 1806. Dunes Golf.
Thinking of travel, Pierre Regional Airport offers nonstop flights from Pierre to Denver. From there, you can fly anywhere. Book to your destination and check bags through on United, Delta, or American Airlines. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets to Denver, then connecting to your destination. Save travel time and money, avoid the crowds, and free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
Ryan Wingard's the new pitcher on the mound for the Oahe Zap, as his first offering misses for ball 1.
Dylan's got a huge smile on his face right now, and I'll tell you why.
Wingard settles in, fires. That one popped foul for strike 1.
The big man is in the building. Mr. Beach is here.
Yep, he finally made it in. The flight from Denver landed. 1-1, check swing, doesn't matter. Say that one was a strike. So Wingard ahead in the count 1-2. Trying to get his first out of the day, keep this deficit where it's at. Zap find themselves trailing 2-0 here. So Jared Pugrad got their first hit of the ball game, but Kadena running into the third out, as that one will drop in for strike 3. Clay Porter goes down looking. Big first out for Ryan Wingard.
Yeah, that was a nice at bat there for Wingard. After falling behind early, just kind of started to pepper the zone. And a good start, getting that first out. Avoid having that leadoff hitter on.
Lineup turns over for Torelli as he jumps out of the way of that first pitch ball. So it'll be Torelli and Work due up as Wingard takes the first exchange of the game for the Zap. He fires in strike 1 there to Torelli.
Country, is your dad going to join us? Because we've checked 2 boxes. 2 dads have been up here now.
He's got a cousin in the crowd somewhere. Maybe he can come join us, as that one misses for ball 2.
He could fill in as the father-son duo.
No, we've been calling him Big Country this entire year. He says his cousin is a bit bigger than he is, so he might be Little Country now.
I'll be the decider of that.
2-1, rocketed up the middle. Nice piece of hitting there from Torelli, helping himself out on the mound.
Well, I'd say Torelli's having a pretty good day. 1 hit, scoreless baseball through 5 for him on the mound, and he's got a single and a double.
He is doing his best work out there to help him out on the mound. He's got 4 strikeouts and 2 hits. We don't see a lot of two-way players start and hit. It's typically they might start the game, maybe come in relief later. I've seen Quinn Ludvigson do that a couple of times, but he's doing it both for the Sasquatch here tonight, as Wingard misses there for ball 1.
Yeah, we've really only seen that maybe twice at Hyde Stadium this year.
Aiden Johnson hit and pitched one game. As the 1-0 now from Wingard. Torelli goes for second, and he'll be in there sliding. Now add a stolen base to his tally. He is really stuffing the stat sheet here today, Justin.
He really is doing it all. See if Wingard can get this second out here and make it a little bit easier on himself.
Double play, ball is off, but a couple of speedy runners would have been a hard one to turn. 1-1 drops in off speed for strike 2. Good comeback pitch there for Wingard. So he looks for a big second out here in the top of the 6th.
Yeah, and back to Brady Glenn. He had a pretty good day in terms of getting himself out of trouble. Only gave up the 2 runs with this Spearfish offense. It could have been a lot more than that.
1-2, chopped down the third base line. Aiden Johnson fields cleanly, fires over, but Palizzi unable to snag it in the glove on the pick. That is one he would love to have back.
I think it might be a throw that Aiden Johnson would love to have back. He got that one out of his glove a little quickly. Looked like he might have had one more step where he could have set himself up and gotten his feet underneath him to make a strong throw over to first. But now you got to face Kyle Finn with just 1 out and 2 on.
Dangerous spot here for the new reliever as that one misses for ball 1. And a force play at every base, but you've got the most imposing hitter in the league at the plate. 1 away, runners on first and second for Ryan Wingard. As he checks on the runner and fires. Just missing there for ball 2. Close pitch there for Ryan Wingard.
Yeah, that was a good spot from Wingard, too.
So, Finn ahead in the count 2-0. Offer from Wingard. Bounces at the plate. A good block there from Ty Farwell. But now if a 3-0 count, you just might want to eat this one rather than float something across to Kyle Finn.
Well, we saw what he did with a 2-0 count yesterday. I think that ball is just now landing over that left field fence. He hit the farthest home run we've seen by a long shot.
3-0 in there for strike 1. Kyle Finn didn't get the green light on that 3-0 pitch, so Ryan Wingard back in this count with a strike.
Still got to be careful. Still the hitters count.
Runners on first and second for Wingard. The 3-1 to Finn. Chopped foul. Now we'll have a payoff pitch. Good on Wingard to get back in this at bat. See what he goes to here. Don't want to put anything too easy to hit for Kyle Finn. As we'll see the 3-2 pitch, Wingard settling in on the mound, firing. That one popped a mile high. That one's going to drift into the crowd as one lucky fan's not able to make the barehanded snag.
Yeah, we can't hate on him too much. That thing...
That had some power on it.
That could have almost gotten up into orbit. That was hit so high.
Ty Farwell threw off all the gear. Wanted to go make the play, but the wind blowing out of the ballpark, that was not going to help him out any. Redo of the payoff pitch here. Runners go, and that one skips in the dirt. So bases will be juiced once again. 1 away for the Sasquatch.
Good stop there by Ty Farwell to not let that get to the backstop. With that runner already on the move from second, if that had bounced up and caught the netting and killed the momentum, you likely could have seen him score. Luke Torelli's a fast guy, and with that lead, they're feeling pretty comfortable. And I think Lucas Torelli's feeling about as comfortable as they can get, so would have been surprised if he would have tried to test that.
Still nobody even stretching in that bullpen, because nobody's gotten to Torelli in this game as Rather fouls off the first pitch he sees sharply down the right field line.
And it kind of goes without saying, when you got 1 hit and no runs, this is a situation that you almost feel like you have to get out of, giving up no damage, or if any damage, minimal. Jamie Habiger directing traffic with his infield.
It's only a 2-0 ball game, but the Zap offense has been sleeping throughout this one. as that one swung on a miss for strike 2. It'd be a big out for Wingard. Take the sac fly off the board. So 1 away now. Bases loaded. 2 strikes here to Carson Rather. Wingard winds and fires. That one fouled back into the street. Ryan Wingard, one of the newest Zap relief pitchers, by far his biggest situation he's been thrown into this season. So he tries to navigate a massive jam here in a 2-0 ball game. The 0-2 drops in there for strike 3. Carson Rather didn't like it. But like we mentioned, I don't think there's ever been a hitter who's agreed with a called 3rd strike, Justin.
Yeah, that one kind of ended on the inner half of the zone, but it had so much spin and tail on it that when it crossed the plate, it was above the strike zone, or in the strike zone, I should say. That's a big second out. Now, if you can get Sam Kwapnoski out of here, what it might do is afford a little bit of momentum into that Zap dugout.
Not out of the woods yet. Kwapnoski has hit a grand slam against the Zap this season as he watches strike 1 in. So Wingard getting a crucial second out. Bases loaded. Now ahead in the count 0-1. Kwapnoski awaiting the delivery here as he sets and fires. Kwapnoski jumps out of the way of that one for ball 1.
You don't want to hit another guy, too, with bases loaded. That's how Brady Glenn allowed the second run of the game to score.
That was 1 run in the 4th and the 5th. Is all the scoring in this game, both from the Sasquatch. The 1-1 from Wingard, grounded towards Pugrat at shortstop, and that one will get through. 1 run is scored, 2 is crossing the plate, and that is a big hit there for Sam Kwapnoski, I should say.
Yeah, that's tough for Wingard. It's kind of, as many hard-hit balls as the Zap have hit, they've hit them right to Sasquatch defenders. Kind of the opposite for the Spearfish offense. They're, hitting some ground balls that are just finding these little gaps in the infield. And that's what's been the difference in this ball game.
And Kwapnoski has delivered for Spearfish all season long, and that was a big one with 2 away. So now runners on 1st and 2nd, 2 out, as Michelson will watch strike 1. Saw Kwapnoski back in that June series hit that towering grand slam over the Oahe Zap. He's doing some more damage to him here tonight. Wingard trying to get out of this inning. The 0-1, that one popped up, heading foul over the Zap dugout. So now another 0-2 count here for Ryan Wingard. Would love to be able to get out of this with just the 2 allowed, but have not been many signs of life from this Oahe Zap offense here tonight. Find themselves trailing 4-0 in a must-win home game in the ILB Championship Series. The 0-2 now from Ryan Wingard. Just misses a bit too high. A dangerous take there for Michelson.
Yeah, that was a good-looking pitch there from Wingard. Farwell doing his best to try to frame that one, keep it in the zone. Didn't have to pull it far.
Now Wingard, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Michelson. Checking on that runner at second, the 1-2. Popped up into the infield. Palizzi settling under it and bringing it into the glove for the 3rd out. So the Zap give up 2 more. They find themselves trailing 4-0. We'll see if the Bats can wake up here in the bottom of the 6th.
The summer is here, and you know what that means. The Oahe Zap are back, and we at DRG Media Group are bringing you coverage of every Zap home game all summer long. You can hear all the home Zap games on River 92.7, or you can watch them live on drgnews.com at the River 92.7 station page. The Zap are offering you fans something new every single night, so get out to Hyde Stadium for some Zap baseball this summer. Purchase your tickets on oahezap.com or buy them at the box office. If you can't make it to the game, we've got you covered on River 92.7 Oahe Zap Baseball, brought to you by DRG Media Group.
Zap trying to answer back here, trailing 4-0 in crunch time as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. They have not been able to get after Luke Torelli today. He's given up just one hit to Jared Pugrad. And it really didn't last for very long as Pugrad crossed the first base bag. Kyle Finn fired over to Nick Work at third, and Noah Cadena kind of making the decision on his own to try to swipe the third base bag. And he was thrown out, gunned down, and in hindsight, probably not the best decision to try to take third, but just trying to get something working for your team, trying to get something going, any bit of a spark. But it ended up killing what could have been a possible run-scoring inning for the Zap, but Cadena has paid off big for the Zap in other areas. And we'll see if Andrew Phillips can start off the inning with the second base hit of the ball game. As he climbs in, big question, does the jersey fit Pops there?
It sure does.
Awesome.
As Andrew Phillips watches that one high for ball one.
Dylan's host family making sure that Kenneth Beach is decked out in Oahe Zap gear.
1-0 now to Andrew Phillips. Skied a mile high down the third base line. Settling under it, making the play in foul territory is Nick Work. Still, the Zap offense just struggling to come alive in this one. That wasn't the main concern yesterday with the Zap. They jumped out in front. Scored a lot through those first 4 innings, but then kind of went quiet as the game ended. And then the pitching is kind of what lost them that ball game, but last night's later half quietness kind of leading into today's game, Justin.
Yeah, and Torelli
fires in a first pitch strike.
Has been getting a lot of soft pop-ups, getting a lot of guys to swing underneath his pitches.
0-1 now to Curiel. Catches the zone for strike 2. Oh, it wasn't too far off of hitting Curiel.
Yeah, he had to kind of move out of the way of that one. That was a fastball.
0-2 now to Curiel. Off speed. Just misses for ball one. Torelli wanted that one.
Yeah, and a dangerous take there by Curiel after 2 strike calls that were a little, not wide, but
1-2. Good stay alive swing there from Curiel to foul that one off.
But that ball kind of in the vicinity of where those other strikes had been called, so good defense of the plate there, fouling that one off.
We haven't seen a lot of that here lately. The Zap protecting the plate as Curiel does exactly that, fouling that one off the right field side. Curiel was just a bit behind that one. Starting to get that timing a bit better. 1 ball and 2 strikes for Curiel. The offering swung on low. Curiel going to try to run it out, but a clean throw over to Kyle Finn from Rather. And Curiel's down for the second out of the inning.
But you can't blame him. He was trying to defend the plate, making sure he's protecting up there. And just a good pitch from Torelli. What else is new?
He has been stellar in this one. Already, that one is 5th strikeout of the ball game. It's just a question of if the Zap can get to him. As that one misses outside for ball one to Gavin Frazier.
Well, a lot of times you see an offense get through one round of their lineup and start to kind of pick up on some of the pitches.
That one drops in for strike 1. Count even at 1 apiece.
But there's been a couple factors. That's not been the case for the Zap, but they also haven't been able to get through the lineup very often because they've only tallied 1 hit.
That one in there for strike 2. Frazier quickly behind 1 and 2. Torelli's just been peppering the zone with strikes. Hasn't missed an awful lot here today. Giving up just 2 walks. That one misses a bit outside. Count even at 2 apiece.
Yeah, he's been efficiency personified as Luke Torelli.
As Frazier pops that one up towards shallow left. That one a mile high. Chasing in on it and bringing it in the glove is Owen Michelson. So the Zap go down 1-2-3 once again, still trying to wake up here on this sleepy night here at Hyde Stadium.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
Doing a little spring cleaning at your house? I'm Val Keller, City of Pierre Solid Waste Manager, letting you know the City Supply Swap program can help. We'll recycle cleaning supplies, paint, and other household chemicals you don't want anymore. Plus, you're free to take any products other people dropped off for recycling. The swap program helps our customers and keeps things out of our landfill. Supplies we accept include stains and sealers, pesticides, pool chemicals, typical cleaning agents, as well as oil-based paint, latex paint, and spray paint. For additional information, call 605-773-7434. Again, that's 773-7434 for more information about recycling your household supplies and paint. Let the City of Pierre help you get your home and garage cleared out and cleaned up for the summer months.
This public service message is brought to you by the radio stations of the DRG Media Group in Pierre.
Ryan Wingard back out on the bump for the Zap here in the top of the 7th inning, as it has been all Spearfish all night. Luke Torelli has been fantastic. He's only given up 1 hit, only given up 2 walks, and they lead 4-0 here at Hyde Stadium in game number 2. Leading things off here will be Karsten Hansen. It'll be the 7-8-9 due up for the Sasquatch. Ryan Wingard trying to keep this thing in striking distance for his offense. Welcome you back into the broadcast booth at Hyde Stadium as the first pitch from Wingard is swung on, fouled into the mitt for strike 1. Justin Cowart alongside Dylan Beach and Eli Lewis with the final game of the season here at Hyde Stadium. As he fouls that one off, and it's quickly 0-2. And that guy driving by on Capitol Avenue has his window down, and he's just kind of looking around like, where did that come from? It almost hit his blue Jeep.
Doesn't phase at all either.
No, he wasn't. 0-2 here to Hansen. That one missing just off the plate for ball 1. Wingard, one of those guys that works out of the stretch and not the windup when the bases are empty. And that one almost swung on, but Hansen held up his swing. 2-2 is the count. And we got still some fans that are making their way in from the Be Great Sailgate event over at Drifters, put on by the Boys and Girls Club of the Capital area. As Hansen pops this one up down the third base line, giving chases Johnson, but watching it sail out of play. Tell you what, that's Steve Steele, who puts on the Be Great Sailgate, CEO of the Boys and Girls Club of the Capital area, one of the busiest guys in Pierre. He just got done playing 108 holes on Monday, and now he's got this great event here tonight. Count is 2-2 for Wingard. In there for strike 3, and Karsten Hansen goes down looking. Good fastball, catches the top part of the zone for out number 1.
Justin, I feel like we haven't talked about that event at all. I mean, how did you do in the 100 holes of golf?
You know, the first 2 rounds were pretty good. For those of you that don't know, we had a fundraiser out at Dunes Golf Course here in Fort Pierre for the Stanley County Gold after school program. As this one is grounded the opposite side. Down to one knee is Frazier at second to field it. He fires to first and retires Ben Foyer for out number 2. Steve Steele heading up that Stanley County after-school program as well, wanting to raise some funds for it. Came up with the idea to play 108 holes in one day. And I got the invite along with a couple of the coaches from the Oahe Zap. Will Mortensen, one of the guys that works in the legislation, well, the political side of things here in Pierre. That one grounded sharply to third. Aiden Johnson bobbles, fields now cleanly, and fires to first and retires Clay Porter. So that one hit hard enough for Aiden Johnson to have a cup of coffee while he fielded it. He got the out in time, and maybe that will deliver a little bit of momentum for the Zap. We hit to the bottom of the 7th. Zap trying to wake up the bats here at Hyde Stadium.
Hey, it's your phone talking. Yeah, your phone. You know, that thing you're constantly picking up and poking around. Listen, when you're behind the wheel, would you please give me a break? You'll have plenty of time for your TikToks and, I don't know, texting your friends after you put it in park. Distracted driving, friend. No joke. One quick text or social media feed can cause a crash. And hey, I don't want any part of that. You got someplace to be. And trust me, I'll enjoy the downtime. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety and its station.
Dunes Golf is celebrating their 30th anniversary this summer. They look forward to seeing old friends and new acquaintances on the driving range and on the course throughout the summer. Play 9 or 18 holes, pay by the round, save with a punch card, or become a member for unlimited play. Dunes Golf is a great location for group outings or a summer play day. Call 605-223-2525 or see golfdunes.com, just 1 mile north of Fort Pierre on Highway 1806. Dunes Golf.
Thinking of travel, Pierre Regional Airport offers nonstop flights from Pierre to Denver. From there, you can fly anywhere. Book to your destination and check bags through on United, Delta, or American Airlines. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets to Denver, then connecting to your destination. Save travel time and money, avoid the crowds, and free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
Bottom of the 7th will be led off by Aiden Johnson, a new pitcher on the mound here for the Spearfish Sasquatch. It's Diego Trujillo, and he starts with a breaking ball down in the dirt for ball 1. Zap trying to get something going offensively, and maybe a leadoff walk could be just what they need, as it's 2-0 now to Johnson. That fastball missing high and away. And missing in the same spot, ball 3.
And I'm shocked that Torelli's day was done. Had only thrown 69 pitches, so felt like he might have had more in the tank.
3-0 in there for strike 1. A good fastball from Trujillo. Yeah, I was a little bit surprised myself. I thought the Sasquatch might ride him a little bit longer, try to save some of those arms for the home games in this series. Johnson swings and misses on the 3-1 pitch. So count is full, nobody out, nobody on here in the bottom of the 7th. Zap trailing 4-0. Trujillo deals and misses down and away for ball 4. So the crowd trying to keep their energy high for this Zap offense. We saw him strike for 4 last night. No reason they can't do it again, especially with a new arm on the mound. They couldn't get to Torelli. We'll see if they can get to Trujillo. It'll be Ty Farwell. As we see that patented hip shake as he climbs into the left-handed batter's box and takes a ball on the outside corner to start off his at-bat. Sun setting back behind us, off to the west. And it is the golden hour here in Pierre. Absolutely gorgeous night, nice and cool, as that one bounces into the always protective Carson Rather. You got to throw something way out of the zone to get it past Carson Rather.
And we only saw one get remotely away from him last night, and he has been just a brick wall behind the plate. And it's nice to be able to have that everyday catcher that you can really trust to not let anything get past.
No telling how long the leash is on Diego Trujillo, as before he even threw his first pitch in this inning, there was already movement down in the Sasquatch bullpen. Looks like Jackson Peters is down there getting loose for the Sasquatch at the moment.
Yeah, and that's a guy who has also been just lethal for them this season. Was likely going to close that game last night before it kind of got out of hand. But see if the Zap can get some base runners on against Trujillo.
Well, Farwell's ahead 2-0, and Aiden Johnson drew a leadoff walk. Doesn't matter how you get him on, just the fact that you do get him on. That's what counts. So after a meeting at the mound, Diego Trujillo is set. Farwell awaits the 2-0 pitch. And he takes a fastball on the inside corner for strike one. There's a light haze off in the distance, kind of clouding up those rolling hills across the river as Farwell takes ball 3 down across the shoe tops. But I think if you were going to try to set up your perfect weather for a playoff postseason baseball game here at Hyde Stadium, this would be it. 3-1 to Farwell. It bounces past Rather, and now Johnson's going to peek back, and, well, he's going to stay put at second. But everybody will move up. Farwell draws the walk, and now that'll bring up Vince Palizzi with runners on first and second.
Big at-bat here.
Yeah, it really is, and you don't want this to be the case, but it could likely be the last at-bat here for Vince Palizzi at Hyde Stadium. Bottom of the 7th, nobody out. That would take some great work from the Sasquatch pitching staff to make that a reality, but they've been good so far here tonight. Vince Palizzi will take ball 1 down low. So more patience is working here for the Zap. Most base runners they've had on in an inning happening right here with Aiden Johnson on second and Ty Farwell at first. Palizzi ahead 1-0. He's ahead 2-0 as that fastball misses low. Still plenty of baseball left for the Oahe Zap here in this ball game. But this feels like an inning with the way things are starting to unfold here where you've got to get some runs across. 2-0 count to Palizzi, and he fouls that one sharply back behind him into the netting. That was a good hack on that fastball from Trujillo.
And Palizzi, a lot like Finn, a guy you do not want to leave anything over the plate.
Out in left field, Owen Michelson is playing Palizzi very deep. That off-speed pitch just missing off the outside corner, and that'll make it 3-1 and put Palizzi in the driver's seat. He's always a pretty efficient hitter and always thinking about a base hit, but I think he's got a long ball in mind here. The 3-1 pitch, up and in. Palizzi draws another walk, and they have loaded the bases with nobody out, and Quinn Ludvigsen coming up to the plate representing the tying run for the Zap.
It might be the end of the day for Trujillo here soon. Coach Scott is coming out of standing out there waiting for that bullpen session to get sped up a little bit.
Yeah, he's lurking, and he's been peeking down pretty consistently down at the bullpen. Kind of looks down at the diamond, then looks down to his left. But it's going to be Trujillo against Ludvigsen, and his first pitch is high and away for ball 1.
And Peters is kind of a funky sidewinder, guy that you just dread to see come out of the bullpen. But the base is loaded, you feel like you've got to capitalize even when he comes in.
1-0 to Ludvigsen, high and away, ball 2. So Quinn Ludvigsen ahead, 2-0 in the count, bases loaded, nobody out. And he takes ball 3 high. Nothing wrong with a bases loaded walk here for the Zap. We'll see if Ludvigsen has the green light on the 3-0 count. Trujillo from the windup, long look in, and now will step off.
Wind is starting to blow favorably here for Ludvigsen.
Yeah, on a dime it's changed and shifted to be blowing out towards right. And Ludvigsen, a left-handed hitter, can really take a ride on that wind if he gets a hold of one. But he's going to have to wait till his next at bat. He draws a 4-pitch walk And the Zap are on the board. Base is still loaded, nobody out. And that looks like it's going to be the end of the line for Diego Trujillo. And Jackson Peters is going to leave the bullpen, head into the field of play, inheriting a bases loaded jam with nobody out, and Mason Lang coming up to the plate for the Zap.
Yeah, and that is a big spot for last year's team MVP. Can take the lead with one swing here.
You sure could. Ludvigsen represented the tying run at the plate. Now Lang will represent the go-ahead run at the plate. A guy in Mason Lang who is a power hitter. I think if you're the Zap right here, you maybe just want to try to do it the old-fashioned way, because hits are contagious. You get one, then maybe you get another one, and the next thing you know, you're off and running.
Yeah, just like that, the Sasquatch have really handed the Zap a lifeline. Torelli was dealing through this game, and I'd say a questionable decision to take him out, throwing less than 70 pitches through 6, but you've got a guy in Peters on the mound who can definitely shut it down. It'll be a tall task here for the Zap, but you got to stay patient at the plate. See if he will give you anything.
Peters stands 6'5", 230 pounds. He's a right-hander out of Plano, Texas. He plays his ball at St. Edward's University. He's thrown 22 innings, the most of any of their pitchers by far. And he's got one of the most unique deliveries we've seen. It's almost a full-body convulsion when he releases the pitch. He starts pretty calm, and he lifts that left leg, and then all you-know-what breaks loose. He really kicks that left leg out. That upper part of his body really shifts forward as he delivers his pitches. He's got a zippy fastball. He's got a good off-speed pitch. You know, you said it was a tall task for this Zap offense. It's going to be a tall task for Peters. As we mentioned, he's coming in with bases loaded and nobody out, and the Zap scoring the first run of the ball game. They still trail 4-1, but they couldn't have scripted a better opportunity if they were trailing at this point in the ball game than what they've got right in front of them.
I mean, this is what you live for here, playoffs, bases loaded, nobody away, and not the day Trujillo would have liked to have had on the mound, but it has put the Zap right within striking distance, and you have just got to take advantage here. You could really flip this game on its head heading into the 8th with a lead after trailing for the entire ball game because of a great day on the mound from Torelli.
Jackson Peters boasts a 1.24 ERA. He's got 48 Ks on the season, only 14 free passes. And Mason Lang will come in and hit for Noah Cadena. And not sure if the decision was made by Habiger after that play where Cadena ran into the third out of the inning when he really should have stayed put at second base. Habiger was none too pleased with that. Now Mason Lang is hitting in Noah Cadena's position. Pugrad in the on-deck circle. Andrew Phillips in the hole. Peters with a long look in. Lang in the left-handed batter's box. First pitch from Peters is in there for strike one. That one across the lettering of the chest of Mason Lang. A very lively fastball from Jackson Peters. Here's the 0-1 to Lang. Swung on and missed for strike two. Couldn't catch up with that fastball, and he's quickly behind 0-2.
The fastball tops out around 92. Has got some incredible velo, and Zap are going to have to catch up with it.
Certainly one of the fastest fastballs the Zap have seen all season. Lang behind 0-2. That one bounces in, and it gets away from Rather. Farwell's going to be able to score, and everybody on the base paths is going to be able to move up 90 feet. So the brick wall of Rather, well, it shows a little leak there as that one scoots away from him. Maybe only the second time in this young series that we've seen one skip away from Rather. He had a tough time dealing with that off-speed pitch that just dives down into the dirt. It bounced away, so the Zap have brought it within 2, and now a base hit might tie the ball game. Vince Polizzi at third, Ludvigsen at second, 1-2 count here to Lang. And he swings and misses at strike 3. He just couldn't handle those fastballs there from Jackson Peters. So that's the first out of the inning, but it brings up Jared Pugrad. See if Jared Pugrad can catch up to one of these fastballs. He's a guy that loves to jump on an early pitch.
And Jared Pugrad loves to jump on him early, and with that fastball, if he can just make some good contact, take it for a ride, it's going to be a tie ball game.
In the outfield, they're shading Pugrad towards center. He's got a lot of room down that left field line. And he swings over top of a first pitch from Peters for strike 1.
He was sitting fastball there after he gave Mason Lang plenty of those, and the off-speed just drops right past him.
And you understand why they're shading him towards the right field side. It's hard to pull that fastball from Jackson Peters. That one off the plate for ball 1. Rather with an extended pause before throwing that pitch back is almost to signal to Corey Baker that he thought that was a strike.
Yeah, and Finn and Porter thought it was a strike too. The first and second base and both of their hands up.
Count is 1-1, 1 out here for Jared Pugrad. Pitch off the plate, ball 2.
Acrobatic snag there from Rather. I mean, you've got to be quick to catch up with that fastball out of the hand.
Yeah, especially when it's up and away and you got the glove on the left hand, got to reach across the body to get to it. 2-1, Pugrad ahead. The pitch breaks in there for strike 2. Pugrad was scooting out of the way. That's how much curve that pitch had on it. Looked like it was running in on Pugrad and then just fell right into the zone. So it's a 2-2 count here for Jared Pugrad. See if Peters might try to throw something down low. Maybe it skips away from Rather again. The pitch swung on and missed for strike 3. That's a beautiful off-speed pitch there from Jackson Peters. And now Andrew Phillips will be the last hope here in the bottom of the 7th. Pugrad with a couple tips for Phillips before he climbs in. Phillips is no stranger to 2-out hitting. He delivered a big 2-out RBI single. And got the Zap back in the game. See if he can do that again here. Almost the exact same scenario.
It feels like you've got to get this hit here. Don't know how many more times you're going to get this many base runners on against Peters.
Especially in scoring position. Zap have scored 2 here in the 7th. They've cut it to a 2-run deficit. First pitch to Phillips is in there for strike 1.
That was going to be a tough one to get to for Phillips. Inside fastball, a nice pitch there from Peters.
Yeah, incredibly hard to work the hands through the zone that quickly. 0-1 to Phillips, lined back into the netting, foul. And that Sasquatch dugout starting to make some noise, knowing they're 1 strike away from getting out of this jam. Big moment here in the ball game. Zap trying to answer in a big way. Phillips behind 0-2. The pitch off the plate, just a bit outside for ball 1. Good take there from Phillips. Rather doing his best frame job.
And still got to think defend the plate here for Phillips. The velo of Peters on the mound, if you can just get your hands on it, it might bloop out there in the outfield. A lot of room.
Runners will be going if contact is made with 2 outs. Like you said, if you can find a little bit of real estate, you got to like your chances of tying this game up. That's the problem. You got to make contact. And Jackson Peters doesn't see contact a lot. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Phillips. In there for strike 3, and Phillips goes down looking. That's been a running theme. Zap hitters going down looking, not defending to plate, and they spoil a big opportunity. They do score 2. They trail 4-2 as we head to the top of the 8th here at Hyde Stadium.
Hey, it's your phone talking. Yeah, your phone. You know, that thing you're constantly picking up and poking around. Listen, when you're behind the wheel, would you please give me a break? You'll have plenty of time for your TikToks and, I don't know, texting your friends after you put it in park. Distracted driving, friend, no joke. 1 quick text or social media feed can cause a crash, and hey, I don't want any part of that. you got someplace to be. And trust me, I'll enjoy the downtime. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety and its station.
Dunes Golf is celebrating their 30th anniversary this summer. They look forward to seeing old friends and new acquaintances on the driving range and on the course throughout the summer. Play 9 or 18 holes, pay by the round, save with a punch card, or become a member for unlimited play. Dunes Golf is a great location for group outings or a summer play day. Call 605-223-2525 or see golfdunes.com. Just 1 mile north of Fort Pierre on Highway 1806. Dunes Golf.
Thinking of travel? Pierre Regional Airport offers nonstop flights from Pierre to Denver. From there, you can fly anywhere. Book to your destination and check bags through on United, Delta, or American Airlines. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets to Denver, then connecting to your destination. Save travel time and money, avoid the crowds, and free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport.
Looking for happening?
Back here for the 8th, the Zap Trail 4-2. It's Ryan Wingard trying to keep things where it's at. Luke Torelli, Nick Work, and Kyle Finn due up this time for the Sasquatch. Wingard fires that one, grounded towards Gavin Frazier at second, fired over to Polizzi in time for the first out.
And Wingard wants a lot of that. Early, quick outs. And you just hate to have an opportunity with bases loaded, nobody out, and only come away with 2 runs. You didn't even put a ball in play. You walked in a runner and then a pass ball.
Wingard fires in that one for a first pitch strike. So quick start here for Ryan Wingard. There's motion in the Zap bullpen. I believe it's Aiden Johnson getting loose. Or wait, no, it's not. Aiden was down there the last inning, but he's back out there at third. As our producer's saying, it might be Drew Drake, as that one's fouled off for strike 2. But Drew Drake, a lefty, some devastating off-speed stuff. See if the Zap opt to turn to him at any point in this ball game. Wingard settling in the 0-2. That one missing high and inside for ball 1.
I think Wingard would love a quick inning, as we mentioned. Trying to get your offense back up. You've broken through just a little bit.
There are some signs of life despite not adding another hit there, as Work will go down swinging. Devastating pitch there from Ryan Wingard.
Yeah, great pitch off the plate. And those are those pitches that we were talking about a little bit yesterday that the Zap pitching staff couldn't get off the plate. Not really hittable, but just getting them to chase. You know, that look good at the start, but then fall out of the zone. Wingard with a nice one there.
Kyle Finn climbs in, watches strike 1. Good offering there to start him off with a strike.
Yeah, good fastball in the outer half of the zone. Away from the hands where if Finn was going to do anything with it, it would go opposite field and soft.
0-1 now. Runs inside for strike 2. Another good spot there for Wingard. Just kind of tying up Finn on that one. Trying to keep Finn off the base paths. Work with Carson right through to the next inning. The 0-2 now. Swung, towering fly ball out to right field. Curiel called off by Phillips, and he brings it in for the 3rd out of the inning. So Wingard goes 1-2-3. Zap still trail 4-2. We'll see if they can respond here in the bottom of the 8th.
The summer is here, and you know what that means. The Oahe Zap are back, and we at DRG Media Group are bringing you coverage of every Zap home game all summer long. You can hear all the home Zap games on River 92.7, or you can watch them live on drgnews.com at the River 92.7 station page. The Zap are offering you fans something new every single night, so get out to Hyde Stadium for some Zap baseball this summer. Purchase your tickets on OaheZap.com or buy them at the box office. If you can't make it to the game, we've got you covered on River 92.7 Oahe Zap Baseball, brought to you by DRG Media Group.
Sun is setting here for the final time on Hyde Stadium and the 2025 ILB campaign. It has been a fun one as the Zap find themselves trailing here in Game 2 of the ILB Championship Series, 4-2. It's been a fun season full of fun nights here at Hyde Stadium. Another pretty sunset shaping up here, Justin.
Sure is. It's been a great year for the Zap. Exceeded all expectations, broke some records in terms of wins and when they got past 500, winning records, attendance numbers, all great stuff. And you'd love to treat your fans that have been so supportive all season long to a comeback victory, but you can't do it with just one hit in the ball game.
That has certainly been a growth year for the Oahe Zap. Their third season, shattering their win records as their offense trying to break through here in this one. It's the 9-1-2 due up. Emiliano Curiel, Gavin Frazier, and Aiden Johnson trying to get things started here for the Oahe Zap. If Curiel could reach, he's a speedy runner. Someone Peters would certainly have to worry about on the base paths. So now Curiel finally climbs on in, and Peters will see his first action at the bottom of the eighth. Tall right-hander fires in. Curiel fouls that one off the hands, straight back towards the Zap dugout.
And into the Zap dugout. Couple guys having to scatter out of the way.
That was one of the few foul balls we've seen back towards the Zap dugout where the guys on that retaining wall weren't the ones in danger. That one might have hit the water cooler. The 0-1 now to Curiel, turns 0-2. Good offering there from Peters.
And he's got a really good fastball, as we mentioned, topping out at around 92, and he uses that to his advantage. One of those things that maybe as you start to see him a little bit more, you can catch up to it, but you're running out of time.
The 0-2 now to Curiel, fouled sharply into the netting. Yeah, it's a fastball that's got some action on it. It works a lot like a sinker. And it is just a devastating pitch combined with the off-speed offerings he has. Peters, despite throwing that one wild pitch or pass ball, however it got scored, didn't really give up a lot after inheriting those bases loaded. So he misses there for ball one.
Yeah, he didn't give up anything. Got the kind of a gift with the bases loaded walk in the pass ball, but
1-2 to Curiel. This is outside for ball two. Curiel working a count here.
And I think if you're Curiel, you can probably expect a good fastball with a 2-2 count. So I think you sit on that. If it's anything else, maybe let it die out of the zone or just try to get a piece.
2-2 now to Curiel. Chop towards shortstop Foyer, fielding cleanly, firing over to Finn. Just about missing, but Finn, very tall over there at first base, able to bring it in for out number one.
See if Gavin Frazier can put a good swing on one here. Zap running out of outs here at home. But still, your bullpen has done a nice job keeping this thing close. Got 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th. You know how good this team is with 2 outs as well. So an inning's not over until it's truly over for this Zap offense.
Gavin Frazier climbs in and watches that one low for ball one. And another fun season at Hyde Stadium. We've got to see it all here in the broadcast booth. Gavin Frazier, a big part of this season. He watches that one in there for strike one. Gavin Frazier has just been electric on the base paths this season. When the bat has gone cold, his defense has really carried him through as he grounds that one sharply down the first base line fair. Richard Gilmore is going to say that one went foul.
It hit the bag.
And I'm not sure.
That ball hit the bag.
So it ran inside of it. Kyle Finn was trying to field it down the line.
He might have blocked out Gilmore's vantage point there. Andrew Wiggins, the first base coach, took his helmet off in disbelief. He had the best seat in the house for that.
So Gavin Frazier has to climb back in now, behind in the count 1-2. I didn't have a great look at it, but Coach Wiggins there just in disbelief. The 1-2, that one chopped foul in a similar territory as the last one. Now Gavin Frazier trying to fight to stay alive. Zap down into their last 5 outs. That one was a close call there for Peters. Gavin Frazier's speed. That one would have almost certainly been extra bases. One away, nobody on, the 1-2 now. Runs inside, misses for ball 2.
And if you could get Gavin Frazier on and bring the tying run up in the form of Aiden Johnson, you know Aiden's got home run power, especially with as high velocity as that fastball is.
2-2 to Frazier. Swung, grounded foul down the third base line. Coach Habiger trying to bring it in barehanded, but unable to do so.
Frazier's done a nice job battling here, wasting some good pitches from Jackson Peters. That's always so frustrating for a pitcher when you know that you are firing some good pitches in some good spots and the hitter just keeps spoiling them.
That one was the 25th offering from Peters. 2-2 now, as that one is popped up shallow into the infield. Finn running in on it and making the snag just before it touches the ground.
Man, that one looked like it was going to be the cheapest single of all time, but Finn using those long legs to get to it. He was set up really deep on that first base side, almost towards the back skirt of that infield dirt. And that was so softly hit that he just kind of came in and had to turn the glove over, and his glove is almost skimming along the grass when he made that catch.
Now Aiden Johnson climbs in. 4 outs to play with if you're Oahe Zap. 2 away, trailing by 2 here on your home field. As that one catches the zone for strike 1, and Aiden Johnson cannot believe it.
Yeah, neither can the near 600 people here. That one was a little bit up and in.
Aiden Johnson, not the tallest guy in the world either, so as that one's fouled right back to the broadcast booth.
I think the fans could hear me trying to grab that one. That was close. That's about as close as you can get to getting to the broadcast booth without getting to the broadcast booth.
If you were hanging out the other side of the window, I think you would have had that one. That one might have left a dent in the siding. It's strike 2 to Aiden Johnson as they thought he went down looking. The entire Sasquatch team started running off the field. But it'll be called outside for ball 1.
And, you know, who knows? Maybe after that one that was called strike earlier in the count, I'd say all things evened out.
So Aiden Johnson, 1 ball and 2 strikes to him. The offering now from Peters skips past for ball 2. That had a lot of life to it. Ran all the way to the backstop and bounced back just about halfway. Aiden Johnson trying to get something started here for the Oahe Zap. Likely be a pinch run candidate if he could get on. 2-2 to Johnson. That one softly hit, and that one will drop into shallow right field. Porter was tracking, but just out of the outstretched glove, and Aiden Johnson trying to get something started here for the Oahe Zap.
Yeah, he caught that one off the end of the bat just a little bit, but he got enough on it to get it over the head of Clay Porter, who almost tracked it down. But now again with 2 outs, the Zap with some life as we've seen all season long, and you've got a home run candidate in Ty Farwell representing the tying run at the plate. And with the speed of the fastball, we've said it before with Jackson Peters, you can get a bat on one of those if you're Ty Farwell, and with a breeze blowing out towards right field, that could very easily leave the ballpark. As Justice Scott having a long chat with Jackson Peters, his relief pitchers, and his entire infield.
Crowd here at Hyde Stadium, and a Let's Go Zap chant, trying to cheer their hometown team onto a win. This team full of college players in just 2 months has really had this community buy in. As Coach Scott will head back to the dugout with a couple of words for home plate umpire.
Yeah, and I think that Jason Seitz just issued a warning to Justice Scott as he made his way back to the dugout, saying, all right, you've said your piece. Next time you start talking balls and strikes, you'll have to leave the game for good. You'll coach in Spearfish. Let's see what Ty Farwell can do for the Zap here.
2 away, Aiden Johnson on first. Peter starts Farwell off with a first pitch ball.
Farwell, another fan favorite of this Zap crowd. They love this guy.
Massive at-bat here for him. Jumps out of the way of that second pitch ball. Ty Farwell, a guy, I believe, already making his plans to come back for a second season in Pierre next summer. Him and Gavin Frazier, a couple of guys that the Zap are trying to already get back for next year. As that one is clobbered towards center field. That one tracking back, but an outstanding play by Sam Kwapnoski to run onto that one. So the Zap will have to do it in the ninth. They find themselves trailing 4-2 here late at Hyde Stadium.
Hey, it's your phone talking. Yeah, your phone. You know, that thing you're constantly picking up and poking around. Listen, when you're behind the wheel, would you please give me a break? You'll have plenty of time for your TikToks and, I don't know, texting your friends after you put it in park. Distracted driving, friend. No joke. One quick text or social media feed can cause a crash. And hey, I don't want any part of that. You got someplace to be. And trust me, I'll enjoy the downtime. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety and its station.
Dunes Golf is celebrating their 30th anniversary this summer. They look forward to seeing old friends and new acquaintances on the driving range and on the course throughout the summer. Play 9 or 18 holes, pay by the round, save with a punch card, or become a member for unlimited play. Dunes Golf is a great location for group outings or a summer play day. Call 605-223-2525 or see golfdunes.com. Just 1 mile north of Fort Pierre on Highway 1806. Dunes Golf.
Thinking of travel? Pierre Regional Airport offers nonstop flights from Pierre to Denver. From there, you can fly anywhere. Book to your destination and check bags through on United, Delta, or American Airlines. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets to Denver, then connecting to your destination. Save travel time and money, avoid the crowds, and free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
We head to the top of the ninth, and Drew Drake is going to be tasked with keeping this a 2-run deficit for the Oahe Zap. 4-2 Sasquatch lead. I'm Justin Cowart alongside Dylan Beach and Eli Lewis up in the broadcast booth with only 6 outs remaining as it stands right now. And he will face off with Carson Rather. Drew Drake comes set. His first pitch to Rather is off the plate for ball 1. Eventful inning there in the bottom of the 8th for the Zap. They threatened but couldn't pull through as Drake misses down and in for ball 2. Gavin Frazier with what looked to be a possible extra base hit that was called foul by Richard Gilmore. As Drake finds the zone with a fastball for strike 1. And that ball that hit off the bag, which does reside in fair territory. As this one is ripped by Rather, that one's going to find its way into the gap in right center field. They were shading him along that right field line. Rather who's going to stay put at second base. He's got a leadoff double, and that's the last thing you wanted if you're the Zap. Zap last night cut the lead to within 2 in the bottom of the 8th inning, making it a 9-7 game. But the Sasquatch came up with a couple runs in the top of the 9th that just put it way too far out of reach for the home team. You don't want to have that same scenario here. Not a good start for Drake, who gives up the leadoff double to Carson Rather, who's continued to pound the Zap in this series. Sam Kwapnoski will step in. Drake working from the stretch. His first pitch to Kwapnoski is in there for strike 1. Sun completely set here at Hyde Stadium. Still a little bit of light in that sky, but it's drowned out by the stadium lights here at Hyde. Drake ahead 0-1, and he's ahead 0-2 as Kwapnoski fouls that one into Capitol Avenue. A couple of fans scurrying out of the ballpark, trying to go chase down that free slushie. Sounds like they might be running low on slushies now with the last game here at Hyde Stadium of 2025. Drake sets and delivers this one, grounded towards Frazier at second. He backhands and slides and fires to first, but not in time as Kwapnoski legs it out. Frazier had to fire that one from his backside, and now they got him on first and third with nobody out.
And I think he had a bit more time than he thought there and hurried to make the throw after he slid and just kind of dribbled into the glove of Polizzi.
Yeah, that one was grounded up the middle. Frazier had to run off to his right at second base to get to it and slid foot first. But I think you're right, Dylan. I think if he had dug the feet into the ground, stood up, and put a base underneath him, he could have fired a throw with a little bit more oomph. But he knows Kwapnoski's fast, so he knew he had to get it out quickly. We'll see if Kwapnoski wants to try to steal second. This one is lifted a mile high on the middle infield. And Pugrad going to wave everybody off and make the catch, and Owen Michelson is retired on the first pitch. So now a ground ball could theoretically get you out of this inning with a double play if you could get one.
Yeah, I mean, that was also still an impressive stop there by Frazier at second, because, I mean, without that stop, Rather likely comes in to score.
Yes, it was a productive play by Gavin Frazier. So now it'll be Karsten Hanston. Hanson bats with runners on first and third and one out, and Hanson takes a first pitch strike. Hanson up, Ben Foyer on deck, Clay Porter in the hole. They're going to try to pick off Owen Michelson over there at first, or excuse me, Kwapnoski over there at first. He's back diving safely. Hanson waiting, Drew Drake with a long look in. Farwell delivers the sign, Drake delivers the pitch, and it's popped foul, and it's quickly 0-2 on Hanson. And now the throwback gets away from a diving Drew Drake. Pugrad scurried to back it up, but after the foul ball, it was a dead ball, so Jason Seitz was happy to clean that up, the field umpire.
Yeah, it was fielded cleanly there by Seitz.
Yeah, no ability to advance after a foul ball. Drake put all his effort, though. He laid out for it. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Hanson. Off the plate, ball one. Drake takes his time out there on the bump, wants to make sure he is completely ready to fire his pitch. Gets the sign, comes set. Checks on the runner at first again. Kwapnoski back safely.
He's trying to keep that double play in order.
Yep, he is. You could really kind of make it a moot point if you get the strikeout here. And that one is softly fouled. That was a just stay alive swing from Hanson. I think if he had put that ball in play, it might not have even gotten to the mound. That was such a slow swing. Just kind of casually laying the bat out at it. Corey Baker getting some new baseballs from relief pitcher Bryce Van de Wastein out of the Zap dugout. Drake trying to keep this thing at a 4-2 ball game and give your offense a fighting chance in the bottom of the 9th inning. The 1-2 is grounded towards Polizzi at first. He's going to fire to second for one. Pugrad to first, and it is not in time, says Richard Gilmore. The runner will score from third. And a lot of folks here think they might have gotten that double play. It was a good thought by Polizzi. He might have been able to fire home and get that lead runner with a tag by Farwell, but he never peeked over to third. He had double play on his mind the entire way. And after watching back the replay,
close, man.
It sure was. Bang, bang play at first for Richard Gilmore, the first base umpire. It's 2 outs, but the Sasquatch add a very valuable insurance run. They lead 5-2 here in the top of the 9th. Ben Foyer will lift one down the right field line, giving chase, but watching it sail out of play is the right fielder Emiliano Curiel.
And I will say, despite that one being a close one, I think it was the right call made by Richard Gilmore. Just barely by a step was he safe.
I thought that Polizzi might fire home and try to get the runner at third, knowing how valuable that extra run is for the Sasquatch. 0-1 count here to Foyer, and he takes a ball up and in for ball number 1.
I was also thinking that maybe enough time to step on the bag, but he was just kind of pulled it just barely too far off to be able to step on the bag and then fire to second and just kind of caught in between. That was a very productive out there.
Runner goes, pitch outside, Farwell from a knee, fires down to second, and it bounces off the chest of Gavin Frazier. Pugrad there to back it up. But Karsten Hansen will steal the bag successfully. So now the force out is off the table. Foyer getting some extra pine tar on those batting gloves. Now steps in, awaits the 2-1 pitch here from Drew Drake. He delivers, and this one grounded sharply to Frazier. Frazier fields, slips momentarily, but regains his footing and fires to first to retire the side. But the Sasquatch score a huge run. They lead 5-2. 3 outs left here for the Oahe Zap to do something here at Hyde Stadium for their final game at Hyde in 2025. We'll be back after this short break on River 92.7.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
Doing a little spring cleaning at your house? I'm Val Keller, City of Pierre Solid Waste Manager, letting you know the City Supply Swap program can help. We'll recycle cleaning supplies, paint, and other household chemicals you don't want anymore. Plus, you're free to take any products other people dropped off for recycling. The swap program helps our customers and keeps things out of our landfill. Supplies we accept include stains and sealers, pesticides, pool chemicals, typical cleaning agents, as well as oil-based paint, latex paint, and spray paint. For additional information, call 605-773-7434. Again, that's 773-7434 for more information about recycling your household supplies and paint. Let the City of Pierre help you get your home and garage cleared out and cleaned up for the summer months.
This public service message is brought to you by the radio stations of the DRG Media Group in Pierre.
Quinn Ludvigsen is in the on-deck circle, and Vince Polizzi steps into the right-handed batter's box. He'll face Jackson Peters here in the bottom of the 9th, and Peters starts off Vince Polizzi with a first pitch ball. Zap down to their final 3 outs here, trailing 5-2. Looking to pull off a little bit of magic here in their final game in 2025 at Hyde Stadium. Polizzi fouls that one off over the first base side netting. Polizzi, Ludvigsen, Lang. The 4, 5, and 6 due up here for the Zap. Heart of the order, Polizzi takes a ball in the outside corner to make it 2-1.
And if you're going to come back in this ballgame, you have to have patient at-bats like that. You have not been hitting their pitchers, and Peters is such a hard guy to get to. Take anything free he will give you.
2-1 count to Polizzi. And he chops this one down the third base line, but with the spin that one possessed, it bounced foul before it got to the third baseman, Nick Work.
And Polizzi very fortunate that one did drift foul because he had barely left the box.
Yeah, he kind of swung and hit it and then looked around for a moment to see where it was, and he saw it bouncing down in fair territory until it just, that spin caught ground and kicked it foul. 2-2, misses down and away, make it 3-2.
Great take there by Polizzi, holding up on that swing. Got about a quarter of the way around and put the brakes on it.
So Polizzi with a 3-2 count. Payoff pitch from Peters. Rip towards the second base side. It's going to take a funky hop to Clay Porter, and he throws it away. Vince Polizzi will be safe on the error. Clay Porter had one of those hide hops eat him up. When he finally got a handle on it, he tried to throw to Kyle Finn, and as big and long as that wingspan is of Kyle Finn, he couldn't get to it. It pulled him off the bag in the direction of the pitcher's mound. And a bit of misfortune for Clay Porter, and some good news for the Zap. They've got the leadoff hitter on, and Quinn Ludvigsen coming up to the plate.
And if any part of this lineup's going to do it, you got a good portion coming up. Ludvigsen, Lang, and Pugrad.
So Ludvigsen will take a first pitch strike on the inside corner. Vince Polizzi at first, nobody out. Bottom of the ninth, 5-2 ball game. Sasquatch have led the entire game, and Ludvigsen is behind 0-2 as that fastball catches the outside corner, and you've got to defend the plate here. The last thing you want to do is go down looking. Don't let the umps decide your outcome. 0-2 pitch to Ludvigsen is just a bit outside. And I think Ludvigsen is lucky to still be standing in the batter's box. He's still behind 1-2. Mason Lang in the on-deck circle. Jared Pugrad in the hole. Peters set and delivers. And Ludvigsen goes down swinging for strike 3. Couldn't catch up with the Jackson Peters fastball.
Yeah, and getting down 0-2, there's not much you can do against Peters. He's just going to keep peppering in those fastballs, and man, there's not much you can do against this guy. He is stellar, and with that side arm delivery, I mean, the velo he gets on is just something you don't see every day in this league.
So with one out, it'll be up to Mason Lang. First pitch to Lang is off the plate for ball 1. This great crowd has stuck around. I'd say probably about 90% of the folks that were here at the start of the game are still here. Wanted to get treated to a ninth inning comeback. Lang takes the fastball on the inside corner for strike 1. There was no getting to that one. Count even at 1-1. Peters sets and fires, and Lang checks his swing, but it's still a strike, and he's behind 1-2.
And you've just got to fight and claw out of this one.
Yeah, there's no reason, there's no rule against getting a hit with 2 strikes. 1-2 count, and he fouls that one off. So Lang stays alive, just trying to get it to the bottom part of the lineup, see if they can turn that around, get you back to the top. Jake Daly's grabbed a bat. Looks like he's going to hit after Pugrad. Peters with the 1-2. That one is belted way down the field, and way down the right field line, I should say, but it turns foul, and that was the loudest foul ball we've had at Hyde Stadium all season long.
My goodness, he got a hold of that one just a bit out in front.
He was sitting fastball. He picked it perfectly and absolutely tanked it. It almost made it a 1-run ball game. So Jackson Peters probably not going to throw him that pitch again. We do the 1-2 again. Off the plate, ball 2. And Mason Lang looks like he's been growing in confidence just through this at bat alone. 2-2 count. Peters comes set. Lang awaits. And the pitch. Off the plate, ball 3. Another dangerous take, but another good eye from Mason Lang, and he's worked the count full. Polizzi with a short lead off of first. The payoff pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 3, and Jared Pugrad will be the final hope here for the Zap with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. All things considered, that was a good at-bat from Mason Lang. He worked the count back into his favor, almost hit one over to Fort Pier.
Yeah, and if he's held up even just a split second later, that ball is over the train tracks, and it's a 1-run ball game. Just an impressive swing to try to catch up with that fastball, and he was just out in front of it a little bit.
First pitch to Pugrad is ripped down the left field line, but it curls foul. Man, the Zap have been teeing off, but just not timing it up properly. Out in front of some of these off-speed pitches from Jackson Peters. Pugrad, who's known to jump on those first pitches early, did so there. Behind 0-1, the pitch to Pugrad, and he wears it. So Pugrad will take his base, and Jake Daly with 2 outs, and in the bottom of the 9th, in a dream scenario, he represents the tying run. And now Carson Rather are going to go out and talk to Jackson Peters. And I know there's still 3 games to be played in Spearfish if necessary, but this one feels about as must-win get. And Jake Daly be the final hope, but he could tie it with 1 swing of the bat. That flag still continuing to blow out of the ballpark. Wind is moving from the home plate area out into right. Corey Baker going to let the moment build for just a little bit, go dust off the plate. Daly will climb in. Vince Polizzi on second, Pugrad on first. Daly in the right-handed batter's box, bottom of the 9th. 2 outs, Zap trailing by 3. Peters set. Long look over to the third base side, now delivers, and Daly takes ball 1 on the outside corner. Jamie Habiger trying to pull all the strings, has subbed in Jake Daly here, and now Connor Hammonds has gotten a bat. He's in the on-deck circle. Righty-righty matchup. Daly ahead 1-0. Swing and a miss on a fastball to even the count at 1 apiece.
That was the 56th pitch from Peters, by far his longest outing pitch count-wise. And if you're going to get to him here high in the pitch count, this is a long, long day for him out of the bullpen.
And nobody up and working in that bullpen. 1-1 pitch from Peters. Down and in, ball 2.
I mean, pumping 90 on primarily all of your fastballs, and a lot of your pitches are fastballs, that's got to be tiring, and almost in the 60s now for Peters.
Peters behind 2-1. Daly. Reddy's in the batter's box, and he takes strike 2. And the Zap are down to their final strike. You know you got to protect here if you're Jake Daly. Just trying to keep the train moving along. Give Connor Hammonds a chance to hit. 2-2 pitch from Peters on the way. Off the plate, count is full. And the whole Sasquatch dugout was ready to jump out and go celebrate on the middle of the diamond. Three and 2 count to Jake Daly. Peters comes set. The payoff pitch. Inside, ball 4. He drew the walk, and now the winning run is coming to the plate in the form of Connor Hammonds. I was wrong, Dylan. This is the scenario that the kids dream about. 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. You're trailing by 3, and you've got the bases loaded. Hammonds will hit for Emiliano Curiel. And we saw Connor Hammonds walk it off earlier in the season. But it was not your typical walk-off. It was to score the 13th run of the ball game, which made it 13-3 and ended it via run rule. Connor Hammonds didn't really celebrate all that much, as it was a sacrifice fly that scored that winning 10th run. But I guarantee there will be quite the celebration if he hits a walk-off here. We've got a pinch runner at first. It looks like Caden Bazanski.
Cole Ottersberg.
Cole Ottersberg making a rare appearance.
He was out with injury for a long time, came back and appeared and said, if they need me to run, I'll run my heart out for this team.
Love to hear that. Now he's got a chance. Connor Hammonds, with the Zap trailing by 3 and 2 outs, steps in with bases loaded. The Let's Go Zap chants pouring through the crowd, and it's a first pitch ball high and away.
Still no activity in that bullpen for Spearfish. They're riding out their guy here.
Connor Hammonds about as stoic as they come. Ahead in the count, 1-0. The pitch is lined up the middle. That's going to drop backhand. No play. Vince Polizzi will score, and it's a 2-run ball game. Bases will stay loaded for Gavin Frazier. Clay Porter got to it in time, but it was softly hit up the middle. By the time Porter was able to backhand that ball, his only play was to eat it. His momentum was carrying him away from the first base bag. And the only thing that a throw would have done might have jeopardized an error. And we've got another pinch runner now coming in for Connor Hammonds.
The Hudson Ivy.
So now Gavin Frazier with a base hit and 2 outs could tie the game. You've got Pugrad on third, Ottersberg on second, and Ivy on first. Hayden Johnson in the on-deck circle. Gavin Frazier in the right-handed batter's box. 5-3 ball game. First pitch to Frazier is in there for strike 1. Frazier with all sorts of room in the left center gap. If he could split that, the Zap might win this. 0-1 pitch to Frazier. Off the plate, ball 1. Peters is out in kind of uncharted waters in terms of pitch count. As Dylan mentioned, he hadn't been in this situation this entire year. 1-1 pitch to Frazier, off the plate for ball 2. The nervous energy in this building is palpable. Even the concession stand workers have emptied out of that area, and they're up sitting behind the home crowd section. Frazier ahead 2-1. Big gap on the left side. The pitch in there for strike 2. Frazier shaking his head, can't believe it, but he's down to his third and final strike.
Got to protect here.
Sasquatch 5 runs on 10 hits. Zap 3 runs on 3 hits. Bases loaded for Frazier with 2 outs and a 2-2 count here in the bottom of the 9th. Peters with a long look in. Frazier might want to call time, and he does. Let's just let the moment build a little bit more. Hudson Ivy represents the winning run at first. Cole Ottersberg the tying run at second. Frazier trying to play the hero once again for the Zap. The 2-2 pitch. Off the plate, it's ball 3, and the count runs full. And Peters has a couple choice words for Corey Baker as he circles the mound. Well, you couldn't script a scenario like this. 3-2 count, 2 outs, bases loaded. Zap trailing by 2 for Gavin Frazier. Peters comes set, the payoff pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 3. And the Sasquatch will escape here and take a 2-0 series lead in the ILB Championship Series. Gavin Frazier went down swinging, and Justice Scott is still chewing out Corey Baker, and now Corey Baker's going to come back, and if Justice Scott isn't careful, he might get ejected for the next game, and there goes Jason Seitz. He's tossed him out. So Justice Scott has been tossed after the game, and Seitz has to step in between the Sasquatch head coach. And after getting tossed at the game is final, I'm not sure the ILB rules on that. But
you won the game. I don't know what he's still talking about.
I'm not sure. Maybe some of the balls that were called, who knows, but Justice Scott not really doing himself any favors after winning a close one. We'll step away. We'll come back and recap it for you. It's been a fun season here at Hyde Stadium, and we want to thank you all for joining it with us. We'll get to that here after the break. Zap fall 5-3 in Game 2 of the series.
Hey, it's your phone talking. Yeah, your phone. You know, that thing you're constantly picking up and poking around. Listen, when you're behind the wheel, would you please give me a break? You'll have plenty of time for your TikToks and, I don't know, texting your friends after you put it in park. Distracted driving, friend. No joke. One quick text or social media feed can cause a crash. And hey, I don't want any part of that. You got someplace to be. And trust me, I'll enjoy the downtime. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety and its station.
Dunes Golf is celebrating their 30th anniversary this summer. They look forward to seeing old friends and new acquaintances on the driving range and on the course throughout the summer. Play 9 or 18 holes, pay by the round, save with a punch card, or become a member for unlimited play. Dunes Golf is a great location for group outings or a summer play day. Call 605-223-2525 or see golfdunes.com. Just 1 mile north of Fort Pierre on Highway 1806. Dunes Golf.
Thinking of travel? Pierre Regional Airport offers nonstop flights from Pierre to Denver. From there, you can fly anywhere. Book to your destination and check bags through on United, Delta, or American Airlines. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets to Denver, then connecting to your destination. Save travel time and money, avoid the crowds, and free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
A tough way for the Zap to go down 2-0 in the series, but they'll get their chance in Spearfish. Hello, everybody. I'm Justin Cowart, welcoming you back into the broadcast booth for the final post-game show of this 2025 season. Alongside me, my partner for the season, Dylan Beach, and our producer, director extraordinaire, Eli Lewis. And, boys, that was a very fun season. It was a tough way to go down for the Oahe Zap, but they show a lot of fight there towards the end. Let's take you through the scoring real quick. The Sasquatch scored 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, and then 2 in the 6th, taking a 4-0 lead. Looked grim for the Zap, but they scored 2 in the bottom of the 7th inning to put some life back in this ball game. The Sasquatch scored a huge insurance run in the top of the 9th to make it 5-2. The Zap could only bring 1 across in the bottom of the 9th, making it 5-3 and leaving the bases loaded with a Jackson Peters strikeout of Gavin Frazier to end the ball game. Tough loss for the Zap, but as I mentioned, they'll try to get things right back on track in Spearfish after a travel day tomorrow, and then Game 3 of this series coming Friday night. So that was the game. Boys, it was a lot of fun this season, and, I asked you about one of your favorite moments there, Dylan. We got Eli Lewis on the headset, and even as much as Eli Lewis has fitted people for the headset, he still doesn't know to put the mic right up on that mouthpiece. There we go, Eli. Country, we got to hear your favorite moment of the season for the folks before we sign off for the last time this year.
Yeah, it's unequivocally the walk-off against Casper.
There we go. That was his favorite moment. Did you feel like you picked up a thing or two doing the producer-director? Because I think the folks at home watching Had a great time, had some great comments for your camera work this season. I don't know, Dylan. I think we give him a pretty an A+ on his work this season.
He definitely fought some elements with the zoom cam having that stick drift. It doesn't really focus in all that well. I think he did an excellent job this season, learning along with us, really picking up this job on the fly.
So, Eli, we know that Dylan's heading out of town tomorrow to head back home. What's your plans to get back home?
Yeah, so it's pretty much the same thing. Probably leave around 8 in the morning. Then we're stopping in Iowa City tomorrow night to stay the night, then back to Kentucky on Friday.
And we couldn't have had these two guys here without their host families who were so gracious to take these two guys in. I'm going to let you guys take a moment to thank them.
Yeah, I got a lot of people I want to thank. First and foremost, I want to thank God for putting me in this position. Be out here in Pierce, South Dakota, call some fun baseball this season. I want to thank all of the Zap community, the organization, my host family, the fans out here in the league. You guys really stuck with us the entire time, and it was a fun season. And I just want to thank you guys for making this such a fun year. Justin, I've learned so much from you this season. Eli, it's been fun to become one of your good friends here this season, as we've all really grown a lot in this booth, and it's been a fun time, and I'll certainly miss it a lot.
Yeah, I just want to thank you guys first and foremost, obviously. I kind of learned this job on the fly, and you guys were really here to back me up and teach me all the stuff, and I couldn't appreciate it more. And then my host, lady Karen Arthur, she was such a good host, and I couldn't thank her enough for this season. I want to thank my parents for watching all season and the family back home.
Yeah, I need to thank my family too. It got lost up in the confusion there. My dad's here in person. Love you, Mom. Love you, Dean and Savannah. I know you're probably asleep right now, but if you ever go back and listen to this, you'll be on the broadcast again.
I'm sure that they'll be able to just pull this back up and make sure that they hear that. And we want to thank you, the fans, for sticking around all season long. It was a grim start for this Oahe Zap team. They started 1-9. They went on the road for a lot of those games, but the thing about the Zap was they weren't playing a lot of travel ball teams. They were playing the heart of this ILB schedule, this ILB league, and they played very well in that month of July. They turned that 1-9 start around, won about 25 games throughout the end of that month into July, and they punched their ticket to the postseason for the first time ever, and they gave these folks and fans here in Pierre and Central South Dakota something to be proud of, something to cheer on, and they're going to set up some huge crowds for next year. So we want to thank all the fans who tuned in, night out, showed up to the ballpark here at Hyde Stadium, and I guess you guys thanked your parents. I'll thank them too. Thanks, Mom and Dad. They haven't missed a game yet, and they won't as I continue to call games here in Pierre. Big thanks to all of our sponsors at Pierre Regional Airport, Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, at Dunes Golf, where country club quality meets public course prices. Go have a day at the Dunes. And, of course, Venture Communications for sponsoring our first inning Fiber Fact. One final time, the score not favoring the Zap, but they get to go on the road in Spearfish and try to win it at their place. 5-3 was the final. The Sasquatch take Game 2 and take a commanding 2-0 series lead in this ILB championship. For the final time in this 2025 summer, thank you all for tuning in. For Eli Lewis, for Dylan Beach, I'm Justin Cowart saying so long. Have a wonderful rest of your summer. We'll be back next summer on River 92.7 for more Oahe Zap baseball.
This broadcast of Oahe Zap Baseball was brought to you by DRG Media Group and its sponsors. The next home Zap game will be broadcast right here on River 92.7 and DRGnews.com. Thanks for tuning in.